ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are here on episode number 66 for Saturday Night Hypnosis. I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. We are going to get into a lot of great stuff tonight, as always, we do every single week on this show. But first and foremost, I want to say what's up to our special guest, Mr. EpicMike himself. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Really, the beatbox coach right off the bat.
Just a little support medley.
That's so offensive, Coach. Apologize to Epic.
Leave it to the white guy. Exactly, right?
Just immediately assume what kind of music I
assuming.
You don't see my Frank Williams stuff sitting over here. My Willie Nelson stuff over here. I'm just kidding. I do listen to rap. Listen, I appreciate you guys having me. I love meeting new people in this community and on the internet. All kinds of personalities and stuff. So it's awesome to see people that are getting together, and then you guys are like, hey, why don't you come hang out with us? And I always love that. So thanks for having me, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Of course.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. Listen, guys, we got a lot to talk about in very little time. So we're just going to jump right into the intros and get it over with. We got Leon, Mr. Word to Paradise. Take it away.
Yes, Saturday night, ready to be here. We got so much awesome things to talk about. I mean, Tomb Raider is gonna flop. The Legend of Zelda movie, GameSpot, has given me great content with some idiots talking about how we shouldn't even have Link as the main character. It's just been a fantastic week to destroy what the left is trying to do to nerd culture, and I can't wait to talk about it further with Rage Cage, with the Oracle, everybody on this panel except for the racist clans. But no, I'm joking. I love you, Ryan. Let's get down to it. Saturday night.
Absolutely, man. And we got Mr. J from Desolate Soul Studios hanging out with us again. What's up, Jay?
Yo, what's up? Well, I gotta follow that up. He's like the hype man for kind of loud. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm really happy to be here. I'm kind of honored amongst you guys to discuss all the crap that's being produced in pop culture these days. So I'm looking forward to it.
So it's a good time, man. And of course, we got the Oracle himself, Mr. Coach MC Studio. Take it away, sir.
What's up, everybody? It's the daily rhythm. It's the weekly beat that we need. We need to hear this melody. We need to absorb all these beautiful tongues and what they're telling us, because this is the true culture. This is the true speaking. Yes. I mean,
Wait,
what?
Pause.
What happened? These are real tongues. It's not
what?
the gross tongues. It's not the splitted tongues. It's not the splitted tongues. These are the real tongues. The dong, dong.
Look, he's Italian and German. Just give him kind of a slack. Just put it down to accent problems.
And so Japanese, you've got one hell of a fiery man.
Oh God!
Of course, we're starting well. Don't worry, man. This is life. This is beautiful, and I can't wait to start. The rambling. I can wait to finally kind of exchange with some sane human beings that have parrots on their shoulders and some problems with other ethnicities and some serious gaming problems as well as the other crazy folks that we have here in the panel. We all need some therapy, so let's start the session.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you. And of course, Mr. EpicMike, man, our special guest for the night. Tell them about yourself. I'm sure they already know, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, so I'm EpicMike. I don't have a YouTube channel, but I do. It exists, but it doesn't ever get any love. I'm mainly known for being associated with Geeks and Gamers, and also Epicverse Studios, which is a studio I started with my buddy Josiah Rises, who is on YouTube. So yeah, I just kind of give my takes on stuff on the internet. I needed a place to rant and rave, and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was kind enough to give me a platform to do so. And then, yeah, I just appear kind of everywhere on the internet, yelling at people about things and screaming about things when I get worked up enough. So, yeah.
Yeah, so someone in chat said to say that Man of Steel sucks to get you fired up, or that they like Man of Steel.
Is that his
Don't do that. We don't have enough time. We don't have a stream long enough to go off on that.
Are you like me? Are you a Man of Steel? Are you a fan? Because I love Man of Steel.
I am a huge Man of Steel fan. Listen,
man,
this is going to be a hot take for a lot of people, but I actually have an annual watch through. I watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. I watch Justice League, the 4-hour cut of Justice League, Wonder Woman. I do like a whole watch through of those that every year. So
you and I are going to get along just fine, my man.
No, yeah.
What a disaster.
Speaking of getting along, we got Cult Classic Cage. Cassie, take it away,
Yo.
man. You disappeared on us, man.
Yes.
The last it felt like a year. Cassie.
Saturdays, bro.
Like a year.
It's difficult. It's hard to balance a Saturday.
Yeah.
I do the very best that I can. I always love to be here. If not, I show up in the chat at some point because I love being here. I love
The
hanging out with you
restraining
guys.
order has expired. That's why she's back.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
God.
much. But Cassie Cage of the Cult Classic Cage Show, and I'm happy to be here and hanging with y'all today.
Absolutely. Much appreciated. Good to have you back, Cassie. All right, we got our local Klansman himself, Ryan Roger Athay. Take it away, sir.
I'm far nicer on my own channel than on this show. Who the fuck invited a Persian back on this panel? And why is that fucking bird on your shoulder? Who let the lesbian back on? Why is there a fucking this bastard on the show? Where's my brownie gone? Where have you taken Atreus, EpicMike? And Dragon's just a second-rate version of all of us combined.
What the fuck?
Yes, it's great to be here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's great to have EpicMike here. I just had a great show on Rogue Entertainment, tearing everyone there a new asshole. But yes, I'm going to have a great time sitting back, watching the destruction of popular culture. As I said privately, I shall say publicly, within my lifetime, all of pop culture will die, and all the creators who will cover it will die with them. I'll still be
Say within your lifetime as if you're not going to die from a fucking heart attack in like a year and a half. You fat
literally have AIDS for the last year.
Your fight against.
I will outlive you all. I'm the youngest
Not with the way
person
you're
on the
coughing
panel.
nonstop.
I'm 24 years old. I will
Nobody
outlive
believes
all
that.
of you.
Stop telling
That's
me
the
that.
cardboard he's been
24
consuming.
going on.
I'm really going to need
Every-
ID at some point.
Bigoted
I will
Eating
say-
those cardboards, man, that you're
I
sitting
will
on.
say, never underestimate the power of pure spite. It will keep you through. It will keep you alive through some of
It's
the
the
worst
dark
things
side.
in the world.
Very
This man got hit by a car. He had a heart attack, triple bypass, and he's still going because he's there to spite you.
I won't give up.
Yeah.
Stubborn negative
No.
fuck. That's what it is.
24 going on 50. That is very accurate. That is
You
an
woman,
accurate
go back into the kitchen or on your back.
accurate description. Of
I feel like
Ryan
for
Roger
every
Athay.
bigoted comment that comes out of Ryan's mouth, he loses a strand on his hairline.
For sure.
I
It's
will
getting
say,
shorter
though,
every stream, I'm telling you.
I
It really
will
is.
say, though,
God.
I recently passed
Every
1,800 subscribers, so that's a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
1,800
Oh, yeah.
races. All right. Good job, YouTube.
good job, England.
Thank you, YouTube, for
I took a wrong
accommodating
turn
people.
somewhere. I don't know.
Congratulations.
Increase its white power.
All right, come on. Let's do Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away, man.
Oh man, what's
Oh.
up, guys? It's your boy Dragon. I'm back at it again. You will be getting videos from me soon. Don't worry, Biden will not die before I release a couple of videos. All right, just don't worry about it. That's my policy. And no, don't worry, don't worry. I'm quite. I'm going back on my fast mode. But guys,
fast
just-
You never had a fast mode. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Never.
oh, I used to. Not
Never.
anymore.
Whether,
though.
whether it comes
Yeah.
to your diet, whether it comes to the way you speak, whether it comes to your video.
Never. Dragon
Nah.
Slayer fast mode.
Fast
doesn't-
is not the first thing that comes into our mind when we're talking about.
No, not at all.
But no, I just make funny and informative videos on mostly commentary of the good and bad media
Yeah.
that we get from Hollywood lately. And well, I got something good in store for y'all, but I'll let you guys know when the time comes, which will be very soon this time. And yes, I don't give a fuck. If I take a million years, I know I'll release a bunch of videos before Joe Biden dies, the old fuck. Right.
Are you high right now?
Why are we using
No,
Joe
I'm
Biden's
not,
lifespan
you
as, like, a
fucking
measure of-
German.
It's like a measure of like
Not anymore.
content out.
Floridian. Over adrenalized Floridian, please.
The Aryan heritage does not just go away when you move fucking countries, you bastard.
Just saying you're deep throating the mics, coach.
Not deep throating. I'm beatboxing. That's different.
Very nice. All right, ladies and
That's
gentlemen,
the
listen,
sound
we
of
got a lot to
Coach's
talk about.
vibrator.
You would know about vibrators, wouldn't you? All right, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and
Spanish
gentlemen,
twat.
and we are not going to talk about Ryan's lack of sexual activity. We're actually going to talk about something even worse than that. And that's going to
Even
be
worse?
obviously Disney's Wish. We're going to talk about Disney's Wish for a little bit. That movie is interesting. I'll put it.
Disney's
like
wishes do not suck.
And Disney's wish is they're not getting their wish. So that's
that's for sure.
We're also going to go over some of the reviews.
YouTuber getting theirs.
Because the reviews are actually pretty interesting on the movie. I mean, I don't know if you guys have had the chance to read them, but they're kind of all over the place. So that's pretty interesting to talk about. And we'll kind of touch on some other stuff too. We'll touch on Marvels, of course. We're going to touch on Nia DaCosta. I want to kind of get opinions from liberal Leon about that. And what else? That's pretty much it. There's some other topics, but we'll get into it when we get into it. So let's start off with Disney's Wish, because that's like the main little focal point right now. So Disney's Wish is a typical animated film that comes out around Thanksgiving time. Disney, it's a 100-year celebration for Disney. I didn't see the movie, obviously. That you really needed to get that explanation, but the critical reception of Wish is interesting because this film, I'm very confused by this film, right? This film is an original IP, right? Completely new. So with that being true, it's also an original diverse character, which is something that all of Twitter says they want. All of YouTube, who's on the woke side, says they want. Everybody and their mother says that they want original, POC characters. And then when they get these characters, there's nobody to be found at these theaters. The movie is bombing currently in the box office. It has a $200 million budget. I think it opened with like 35 million, 40 million, something like that. So it's clearly not going to make anywhere near that. I just want to get the conversation going about it while I look up the reviews.
Sure.
Like, what is going on? Where are all the supporters? Where are all the fans of super diverse characters and all this other stuff that they say they like? Where are they? Where is everybody?
I didn't
real quick. You said a 35. You said like a 30 to 40 million dollar opening. No, it had a $20 million opening.
What?
So you
really?
It did. Yeah.
Opening, bro.
They haven't counted today, Hypno. Remember, they haven't counted today.
Wow,
so it's still stuck at 20.
Oh shit!
Well, I saw the reviews, and most of them were shattering, earth-shattering. There was one review that was they really stampeded this thing into the ground, especially family fathers. This movie, as far as I could tell from the comments, there was one that was a bit more, let's say, welcoming and forthcoming, but still it was criticizing the story heavily and the agenda that was run with it, and they didn't really believe the characters. Some found some parts of it okay, but most of the time, I mean, the comments that I was reading were really shocking about this. They basically said now that they're trying to do original material, they forgot how to do it, right? Because they were so involved in the destruction of our comic culture, of our beautiful culture for the last 20 years, that they forgot actually to do what their core business is: create great, enchanting entertainment.
I think Disney's just done.
I
think people are done.
Feels like
how do you fail? How do you fail on Thanksgiving weekend? You have no.
I heard one reviewer say it the best.
The best marketing, the biggest budget, the greatest logistic, everything. You got everything, and you still fail.
One reviewer labeled it as this feels like a celebration of Disney's 100th year, not a celebration of 100 years of Disney, and that encapsulates it perfectly.
Right. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah,
it is good. Well, I mean, like we've kind of seen it a lot with. I mean, it's in Star Wars now. They're doing it in Marvel now. Disney's has become self-referential, and they're trying to use nostalgia to create nostalgia to sell nostalgia on properties that are just
fake.
Now coming out. Yeah,
right.
it's
fake.
all
nobody believes it anymore, right?
Yeah. All the remakes are about nostalgia, and then they come up with this new stuff that's supposed to be iconic and remind you of what happened before, what came before, but it's nothing like it. It's just a shell of it all. But they're also hoping to create moments and things that are iconic about these movies that in 10 to 15 years they're hoping will become nostalgic enough that they can reference them again. But hell, we're already seeing it. They're remaking Moana in less than 10 years.
It almost feels like that they want to show us, hey, don't worry, we still got it, we're still at it, we're just running our agenda, but we can show you that anytime if we want, right? If you just show us that you come up and give us a lot of money, that anytime we can get back to be the old Disney that you once kind of were.
I think this is a bigger issue. I think it's because they blamed the audience for so long, and they still continue to blame the audience. You got directors coming out blaming the audience, calling them racist, homophobes, and you got the actors. Like, you had one smart actress saying that's Kevin Feige and production. I'm just an actress. the one smart actress that said something correct. Everyone else blames the audience. So what's the audience?
Yeah, we had a director like that on the show a couple of weeks ago, and you can watch what we did for him.
Well,
I still can't believe that went down. But anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Well, it's one of those things too.
quite
Like
surreal.
now that once you see behind the curtain on certain things, you can't unsee it. And instead of going, okay, cool, we need to change the formula. We need to
you showed your face. Nobody trusts you anymore, right?
Nobody trusts you. But like Alan Inge from Film Threat, shout out to Alan. He actually mentioned the star and the goat in this. Like if you look at the animation, they're intentionally almost drawn simplistic enough that they make really easy plushies, because Disney right now is shooting for the lowest bar possible to make as much money as possible, and now it's not working.
Right, milk the cow.
It's not paying. Yeah, it's not paying dividends anymore like it used to. A lot of these movies would have been a layup 10 years ago, and they're not anymore because everybody sees how the sausage is made and they realize they're being lied to when they see these movies. That's why they're not going to go see them.
But doesn't this movie expose everybody like online? You know what I mean? Like I just can't. I can't shake the idea that this movie literally exists to it gives these people what they say they want. I can't get past it, right? Like they
right.
If you type wish on Twitter, right, you'll see a whole bunch of people. Well, actually, before the movie come out, if you typed wish, you'll see a whole bunch of people supposedly like just nonstop talking about, oh, this is amazing, super diverse, all this other stuff. I can't wait. This is great for Black people, great for whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's just gone. They're gone. Where are
because
it's
these always
people?
the
it's
same.
the same thing with the Marvels too, right? Not to change it to the Marvels, but
that's not the audience.
I think. But the thing is, like, it makes you realize, like, the entire narrative, right, about this whole
you say that
ultra diverse
because of that. I almost went to see it because we have been saying we want original stories. And so my initial thought was this is an original story. So I'm going to go see it to show the box office we want originality. But the more I looked in this movie, the more it seems like it sucks. And like original doesn't necessarily mean good. So I'm not going to go see the movie just because even though it is original, it still needs to be quality. And that is the difference. I will pay money to this day for a good quality original story. I almost paid money for this, but this isn't it.
Well, remember the movie Larry Flint? I'm sorry, boss. Remember the movie Larry Flint with Penthouse, with Woody Harrelson, the Penthouse story, where they kind of, went into the Christian kind of channel and they tried to kind of, redo the Penthouse magazine according to Christian standards, like have naked women and all that stuff. And they were like, okay, let's go back to business, right? Let's undress people again. And I think Disney kind of, now they are torn on the inside because I believe there is like a huge workforce inside of Disney that wants to get back to the, to what they were, once. But hey, let's not forget one thing. In 2005 or 2007, we could find the article. It really happened. I mean, they were like, there was this huge lawsuit against Disney that went down in the Netherlands, actually. Disney somehow could deflect this whole thing and take it away from the US legislation and put it into Netherlands legislation, where actually thousands of families kind of filed a lawsuit against Disney because they were inserting all these, demonic type of figures in their cartoons in those in-between frames. And they were spoken guilty. So already in 2005, 7-ish, we already knew what Disney was all about at its core.
Well, Disney has forgotten who their audience is. It's the kids. That's
no, they didn't forget. They didn't forget. They don't care, bro.
I don't know. I think they focus so much on diversity. That's what they focus on. And they don't actually target the kids and make it for kids.
Oh, Disney always loved targeting kids, Persian man.
Yikes. I mean, look, the reality is, in the eyes of the people that don't give a fuck about identity politics, they want that shit the fuck out of their entertainment. To them, Disney is one big diseased shit stain. That's just what it is. And they created that scenario. Whenever I see anything Disney, I want to fucking vomit. I don't want to see it. I'm uninterested. And I grew Lion King is like my favorite film of all time. I watched as a 4-year-old. I got a VHS for that. I watched it every single day for like over a year straight. Every single fucking day.
Great movie.
You couldn't tell me shit about Disney back then. You couldn't tell me shit. And I would like, as an adult, I would like to look fondly at Disney, like, oh, you guys, you made my childhood, but I can't do that because they have become everything that comes off. Not to use this term lightly. They feel satanic to me, and I'm not a very religious person by any means, but they have this satanic like shit stain on them now, and it's disgusting and it's sad and it sucks that we're here, but we're here, and they brought this upon themselves.
It's Disney ironic that it's kind of like it's kind of like the Magic Kingdom, that like the veil has been lifted off, kind of a thing, right? Like it used to be the Magic Kingdom, you go there to experience the magic of Disney World, but now as things have progressed and you can kind of see them for what they are. They really overstepped with the whole parental rights and education thing. I really think that was that was a tipping point for Disney, because before then they were doing their race swaps, they were doing their typical woke shit, but they really didn't take it to that next level. But the moment they switched up and they were like, oh, we want to stay out of politics. Well, Bob Chapek tried to, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, like, well, on second thought, we like to indoctrinate kids. Let's fucking go for it. And they just completely went for it. That right there was
killed
the
them.
tipping point. I really do believe that. Right. I do believe that 100%.
No, you're right.
I think this speaks to an audience problem. Look at this first review. Yeah. The last line says, it certainly makes up for it with the self-aware exploration of the dangers of idealism. Disney's whole magic for its first probably 85 of these 100 years was idealism. The movies were idealistic.
Value.
Now they're talking about the dangers of it. That means the audience is also completely missing what original Disney had when they're calling into question the dangers of idealism.
And I can't believe that a company that is so big with all the statistics, all the numbers and figures that they have such smart, incredibly huge marketing departments to know exactly that the human brain, the human psyche doesn't like radical change that much, that the human brain doesn't like to, to see things being flipped and turned over in terms of value and what they mean, the words, the characters, right? We get used to our heroes. We want to see our heroes back. They should suffer, right? They should go through a hard time, but at the end they should overcome and bring victory and healing and catharsis to us. If you flip those ideals, those metaphors, right? Because you think now it's a great time, now this is the time for the agenda, now we're running with this new wave of thought or whatever. I mean, this is the result. People are upset. They can't stand it anymore. In the beginning, I believe like many parents still kind of try to convince themselves, well, it's just minor adjustments, right? They were probably talking with each other or to their kids. That probably the kids were the first of not being really satisfied, right? But the parents, I mean, they maybe they saw these changes and were telling each other, like, what, maybe they're doing this. Yeah, this is modern now. I guess this is, a kind of a sign of its time, whatever. But in the end, now it's so blatant that they don't even care about characters, storytellings, heroes, and those wonderful characters.
Yeah,
they don't care about it. It's so blatant. It's so obvious.
Disney's become more of a political party than a actual production company,
right?
And
it has been.
It's a sad state. It's a sad state.
Oh, and also... I do want to mention one thing about this movie. I noticed, I found a common pattern with the movie itself as to why it has the rating it has, and based off the negative reviews, the movie is very empty in terms of originality or risk. Like, it's as empty as Coach's bowl is going to get, basically. Okay.
I had to mute him because he's chewing in the mic.
Yeah, he was like,
no, it's fine. But
chew louder, Coach. We need to stop Dragon's monologue.
Oh, shut up, you twat. Right. So what happened is basically what people are complaining commonly about the movie is that the story seems to be a very lazy cookie cutter copy paste of previous better movies. They don't try anything new. A lot of the songs, according to parents who took 6-year-olds to the movies, they said they're either very bad or very repetitive. They're not fun to listen to. They find them annoying. And yes, some of them even mentioned that some themes in the movie seem to be very evil in the that they're trying to dump onto little kids. And also, one person even said, like, my 6-year-old fell asleep or got bored watching the movie, which is insane because this movie is obviously targeted at that age group.
And that the evil character was like kind of hard to understand and one-dimensional and not really evil. And
yeah,
well,
like,
a lot of people were saying
complex.
this film wasn't really about being its own film. It was more like just kind of being there to kind of remind you of what happened the last 100 years for Disney. It's kind of like a nostalgia bait movie sort of a thing, really. That's
like, the end of it makes Disney a shared universe. Like the end of the
get
movie.
The fuck out of here, seriously?
The main girl like goes on to become the fairy godmother from Cinderella or whatever. The little lamb partner is the one that goes on to found Zootopia.
What?
There's a living doll.
Too late to make a fucking MCU. No more of that shit. I'm tired of that shit.
Are you kidding right now?
It's the nexus point from which all other Disney movies sprout off from. Like one of the characters is a living toy that is supposed to explain how Pinocchio can eventually come to life.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not exaggerating. The end of this
movie makes no sense. Of course,
that makes no sense.
Watch that.
Leon,
why would a kid want to watch
what's
that?
Crazy? The way you explained it makes it sound insane. Like if Disney came up with it and you make it sound like that, this tells me like whoever came up with this idea was high on cocaine. That's all I can say.
Well, let's find Treasure Planet.
That's the problem. They don't do cocaine at Disney
Planet
anymore.
alone. Leave Treasure Planet alone and leave Atlantis alone. They're making a fucking remaster or reboot, whatever it's called.
I really hate. I enjoyed the initial MCU. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the initial MCU.
Yeah, of course.
All the way till Endgame. There was some hiccups here and there.
Yeah,
but it was overall good. I do not like what the MCU has done for filmmaking because everything now has to be a fucking shared universe. I hate that shit. Like I miss standalone films or at least like standalone series within its own world, right? Like Dark Knight was one of my favorite movies by far, but that wasn't part of a fucking shared universe. It was just literally about Batman and that's it. Like I miss movies that were just for themselves. This whole like, oh yeah, let's make a movie so we can connect to this other fucking bullshit. Like, stop that. Not everything has to be a shared universe. That's why when we were talking about I forgot how long ago this was. It was probably like a couple months ago when we were talking about Super Mario Brothers after the success of that movie, how people were asking, oh, should there be like a shared universe for Nintendo movies? And I'm like, no, don't fucking share. Don't share them. Don't share them. Keep them all separate. I'm tired of this shared universe shit.
Dude, let me tell you why this
universe, right? Kevin Smith, like way before the MCU, Kevin Smith, he would make movies that yes, technically were in a shared universe, but the extent of it was most of them took place in New Jersey, and every now and again you'd see characters pop up in certain scenes, and that was it. Like you don't need to watch Clerks to watch Dogma. You don't need to watch Dogma to watch that one gay chick flick that is actually really good. I don't remember the name of it.
Amy.
Chasing Amy, thank you. Like you can watch them all independently, but they are technically a shared universe. I think that if you're going to do shared universe films, that's a fine way to do it. But shoehorning in at the very end of this forgettable 100-year anniversary celebration movie, all Disney movies are actually connected by this forgettable piece of trash. That's not how you fucking do it.
Right.
Yeah,
like, why would you want to tie it all with Wish of all things? Go ahead, Mike.
Well, no, just show my screen and it'll all be well written. Look at the other two movies.
Let Mike say what he's going to say.
Well, I was going to say, like, I mean, who was it? Ridley Scott actually said that was it Blade Runner and Alien take place in the same universe or something, or that he like left hints that was the case, and stuff like that. I mean, shared universes can work, and it actually can be really interesting. But it's not for casual audiences, and the problem is a lot of these studios want the shared universe to be as understandable by casual audiences as they are for hardcore fans. Like most casual audience members will go watch Blade Runner and then watch Alien and not think that the two are connected. But if you're a super fan of those movies, you'll dig more into the lore, you'll read more about the production, you read more about the stories behind it, and you might find that, oh my gosh, they might be connected or something. Like that's the right way to do stuff like that. Exactly. But lately, it's like everything is designed around, well, none of these stories can be standalone. Like even if you watch like the early MCU and when they started building the universes and stuff out, some of the weakest entries are the ones that were doing all the world building for future installments. Yeah. And some of the best ones are ones that you can watch and not really know everything that's going on, but you know that this story in and of itself is a good self-contained story. And lo and behold, some of the most popular of the MCU movies are the Guardians of the Galaxy films, which have the least amount of interconnectivity with the other franchises.
I mean, it's good if you build a world that makes sense and for yourself and for the exploration, for the whole visual department. If you can really sit down and say, hey, guys, this is kind of implemented in this universe. This takes place in this timeline. So we have like some sort of an overview. That's of course legitimate if you want to do that, just to give that type of like of a narrative arch to the whole concept of writing that. And it definitely helps to develop a better script with sharper dialogues where things can kind of rely on each other without necessarily have to be shown all the time. Like you said, like in Guardians, probably the best MCU film. Come on, let's admit it.
Yeah.
It's probably the best. Like the first Guardians is amazing, right? And it's just a standalone movie, like Hypno was saying about Dark Knight.
Winter Soldier is very good. Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Like, of course, but hey, Guardians has that Star Wars type of panache, like that type of feeling that you're watching something really fucking epic and unique. It kind of gives you goosebumps. You feel like, wow, I want to be part of this fucking gang. I want to ride with them right away. I want to join them and have. It's like it kind of gave me that type of feeling. For me, it even kind of overshadows. It overshadows also the classical MCU material, in my opinion.
So Coach wants to be a gangbanger, is what we're...
Yes, man. Hey, you know what?
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, we're not... Well, I'm not going to tell the
No,
story.
don't do it.
Don't do it. That was a good story. That was a good story.
Dragon Slayer,
make it chat. I'm going to tell
make it bigger,
yeah.
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, sure. I'll make it bigger. I was going to ask that, but is that good or... That's fine.
Good.
But going back to Rotten Tomatoes, there, like, are we really seriously taking that?
No.
Yeah. So
seriously at all?
No, we're not. That's the whole point. Like Rotten Tomato reviews are meant to be laughed at. But guess,
no, I was gonna make a point. Like, you guys gotta understand. We're like comparing here. Like, our baseline right here is already at like deep level mediocrity. Okay.
Yeah.
Songbirds and Snakes and Wish. We know they were made by big studios in order to target a specific audience that they believe would make them a lot of money like they did in the past, and obviously they failed. The Napoleon 2023 movie, which I had no idea it came out this week as well, it's just an art film with a $200 million budget, surprisingly, that is not going to make that much. It'll probably get nominated for an Oscar, win a few, and that'll be it. People won't remember it. They might remember Joaquin Phoenix's face in it. But this is what we're working with. 2 mediocre movies, okay movie, maybe good depending on your taste for those kinds of movies, but that's it. There's nothing.
Definitely not a Barry Lyndon type of display.
We're not getting often as we used to in the past movies that push the envelope or try to do something brand new, and they do it and they execute it well. That's the thing. You can have something that conceptually is pushing the envelope, but if you cannot execute it well, then I'm sorry to tell you, it'll be a failure. Okay, whether you like it or not.
That's the biggest thing right there is execution. Because
the thing is, guys, these movies, these big budget movies, in a very paradox way, if you are on a set of these big budget movies, you realize they are not really carried by the major department. Let's say the directing department. Those movies that had really success back in the days, you know, like the original MCU movies and Guardians and all that, these movies were successful because even the smallest crew members on those sets were really fans of what they were doing. They really enjoyed being on set. And, you know, sometimes these directors, they stand up and they get up in the morning and say, you know what, let's screw this. Let's shoot something completely different. Let's improvise. And if you have the right team around you, like Ridley Scott improvises a lot. I work with him and it's amazing because he's so free and he kind of, you know, rambles all over the place, but he has such a great team that supports him in all of his decisions. And the problem that we're facing right now, for 20 years, we've been indoctrinating all those film students, all those high schools, all those Ivy League colleges with their film departments that this is bad and now this is the agenda and we have to tell this. So the crew that is coming out of these film schools, that is coming out, the future generations of, you know, the crew workers, the talent that is actually manufacturing the real movie, they've been indoctrinated and therefore they don't kind of share that passion anymore. And so you can literally feel that on set, that it's not like it used to be where you knew, well, we were shooting like a big budget movie and everybody was hyperly focused and totally eager and kind of keen to be part of this. Now it's like sort of, yeah, we're doing the agenda, right? And all that. And so therefore, the problem is that you kind of destroyed the culture, the fertile soil that is really creating those flicks.
You know
well,
what's really funny to
you
me?
mentioned film school and film school individuals, at least ones coming up recently, the ones I've been seeing on YouTube and whatnot, I've watched, are incredibly pretentious for the sake of being pretentious. Like I've seen some, they're criticizing beloved films like Jaws or Indiana Jones.
That's
like
what they teach them.
Not as good as
destroy the
says.
old
like,
stuff. Yeah, this is
Indiana Jones. What do you mean it's not as good as everyone says? Oh, but I'm in film school. I'm studying this. I know. Shut the fuck up. Just because you got there and sat through Citizen Kane 6 times, you don't understand film.
And that's a problem. Well, these people, they don't appreciate Kubrick anymore. It's like
part of it boring. Part of it is because like it's the natural state of art and growth in art is to build upon what has been set before you. Like you have to take what you've seen before and you have to look at it with a critical eye and go, what didn't work about this, or how can I make this better? When you watch Jaws, you realize like, the monster doesn't look so great, and maybe you can but that stuff isn't as important as what can you do to expound on that. What did you learn when you watched Jaws? And that's not what's being taught. And I've talked about this before, like part of it is, in internet culture, and I don't blame this squarely on them, but I use them as a perfect example. CinemaSins created an entire group of people that started to look at movies with a critical eye, but walk away with the wrong criticism about a movie. They go, wow, well, here's a plot hole, and now I can point out all the plot holes in a movie and walk away and say a movie sucks because it has so many plot holes. But like, movies growing up that we all loved had lots of plot holes.
Of course,
it didn't matter because art is not about how logical you can break it down. It's about how it makes you feel. So it doesn't matter that the monster in Jaws is garbage.
Right.
What mattered is that it was kind of scary because you didn't really see it, and you didn't really. The feeling was everybody's scared shitless of this thing. Like you can go back and watch Alien and see some of the production mistakes, and you can like point out all the issues that it had and the limited budget. None of that mattered when people were watching it for the first time. They were just scared to shit of this alien that was murdering people in a spaceship, and that was the point. And then if you watch that and then you grow and your goal in art is to just make people feel things again, then you'll build upon what has already been put before you. And that's why Martin Scorsese kind of his argument about Marvel films in the MCU, like, I mean, he's kind of right. Like it's the
not
goal
kind of,
wasn't
he's
about
100% right.
Yeah,
I think
not
he
that
has
he's producing the best movies of his life right now, but at least he's trying to, right?
Yeah, his critique about it not being about the sake of art is absolutely correct. But I think that superhero genres as a whole are kind of the new mythos. It's like the new Greek mythology for a lot of people. And I think that those things can have unlimited amounts of storytelling potential.
For sure.
But you have to go for a good story over making
You know what
something
the
that's gonna
analogy
make money.
here is? It's funny that you're saying this is coming to my mind. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping right.
Yeah.
Because Andrew 3000 out of Outcast. Andre, he's bringing out a new album, right? And he kind of had this interview where he said hip hop could be this incredible like universe that could produce so many different outcomes and has so much potential, but they're not focusing on art anymore and they're destroying the product and the really essence of it. So it's kind of an analogy what is going on also in hip hop music for the last 20 years that has been more destructive than constructive, where we had some great albums here and there, but overall I feel the culture is being drained by energetic vampires instead of kind of getting richer and better.
So many issues.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
the core fundamental issue, at least with cinema right now, is the reality that and Disney has basically been the proprietor of this, purposely making cinema mediocre by turning it into television. That is the core issue of why am I sitting here watching an action superhero film, a fucking grown-ass man all jacked in fucking tights for 3 fucking hours. And guess what? Those 3 fucking hours are just nonsense, most of it. You could literally cut away an hour of it and you could still have the core film here. No, they're just like, well, we want you to sit in this chair and watch this bullshit, this extra over-the-top nonsense for an hour more than you should be. And the fact that they choose to disrespect shit-sling cinema as though it's television, I do not want to indulge. I refuse to indulge. If you're telling me some dickhead who thinks he is the modern Scorsese is going to make a 3-hour film and I'm supposed to sit there and watch that shit, and actually take it seriously. No, the only people I'm going to be willing to give that time to is to someone that has earned their street cred. I will watch, I will watch films from people like Coppola. I will watch Scorsese. I will give them a go. Whether I go to the cinema or not is still even debatable if it's a 3-hour movie, but I will definitely respect them and be like, okay, I'm going to give them a shot. But fucking this asshole clown that came out of nowhere that's been cherry picked by Disney because they happen to not be a straight white male making a fucking 2.5 to 3 hour action film, and I'm supposed to take you seriously? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That's a good.
I agree. We need more straight white men in film. We need more straight white men in film. When's it going to be our turn to rule
more
the
women
world?
in the kitchens?
Actually, there's one thing I've been wanting to say though. Hold on, to go back to what Dragon Slayer had up on the screen. I find it interesting. They keep moving the goalposts when it comes to like the days, like whatever they count for, opening day or open. Now it's going to be almost opening week. They keep moving it. Originally it would be like what, 3 day, then it's 4 day. Then it's 5 day. After a while, you're gonna have first week numbers were 40 million. This is amazing. Where you had movies that used to do that in like 2 days. Like they just keep moving the numbers so that they can make the dollar numbers seem bigger to kind of hide like their failure. You know what I mean? It's just it's a little ridiculous.
Last week we talked, or the week before we talked about this. That now Disney is putting more effort in covering up their mistakes instead of like producing a decent movie in the first place. It's mesmerizing. They put more money, more effort, more workforce, and more creativity, for what it's worth, right, into kind of covering up and botching their like flawed product instead of just creating a great product in the first place, because it has to kind of respect all the agenda ingredients. Otherwise it can't be shown to the public. Otherwise it's not the stuff that the future is made of. This is all transhumanism. This is all reprogramming our cognitive kind of perception of what's good, value, twisting, all this stuff that has been going on for 20 years. And people, fortunately, they react stronger to it than I think Disney kind of prophesized. I don't think they really expected it to go that bad.
Transphobia forever.
Gaskin hit the nail on the head when talking about the length of films, because it's antithetical to making money. Like if you have a shorter film, 1.5, 2 hours, as opposed to 2.5 or 3 hours, you get more screen time because you can play the movie more, because there's only so many hours in a day. I'm gonna fucking say it. The Marvels was better than Indiana Jones 5. I actively will watch the Marvels again before Indiana Jones 5. You want to know why? Because
that's a low bar, though.
Marvels is a shorter fucking movie, and it tells for what little story it has. It tells a better story than what Indiana Jones 5 fails to tell in 3 fucking hours. Yeah, the Marvels is better than Indy 5.
I really think Leon tries to get canceled every Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah,
look, fundamentally, if I go to the movie theater and I'm watching a mediocre film that's 1.5 hours to 1 hour and 45 minutes, I come away from that being, it was okay. It was okay. I don't. When I go to the movie theater to watch a 2.5 hour mediocre film, I'm pissed. Like, I'm annoyed. I'm sat in this seat for 2.5 hours. By that time, I'm probably at the end of the film. I'm in the third act. I'm dying to go take a piss. I'm gonna be pissed watching a mediocre 2.5 hour film as opposed to sitting there for 1 hour 45 and watching a mediocre film. That's just how I feel.
You can hold it in that long. Usually, for me, it's like an hour.
It's because she doesn't have diabetes, Ryan. That's why.
Also, if you're not peeing your pants at the movie theater, you're probably not doing it right. I'm gonna be
conversation. Finally, we're getting a
quick timeout. Hold on, relax your diabetes, Ryan. Mike, you gotta go.
I do have to bounce, unfortunately. I got double booked.
Traitor.
I know. I will be back on though. I want to hang out with you guys more. Maybe we'll just not bring the racist back on.
I'll race swap Ryan with you. I'm okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll just pull
reverse
my hair back.
race
I can't
swap.
even pull my hair back far enough. I'm sorry.
You have way too much hair. That's the problem. You need to cut some of it off.
No,
we should get Ryan Roger Athay to play Vegeta in a live-action Dragon Ball.
We'll just swap places. Like, I'll become the racist white guy. He can be the big-haired black guy. We'll make it work,
No, we'll definitely bring you back on without a doubt, man. I know you unfortunately, had a little thing you had to do. It's all good.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Listen, man, I love the conversation. It's important. People need to talk about it, and we have to be able to, enough people need to be able to talk about it to convince people that this is not just a small minority of people that are just angry on the internet. It's a whole group of people that are the actual fans of these properties that will go out and watch these movies and spend money on these movies. You can look behind these guys and see all the shelves and shelves of stuff. They're buying things because they like them. Hey, if you run a corporation, they're buying things because they like them. People that like your shit will buy your shit. If nobody's watching your movies, it's because they don't like your movies because they're bad. So stop blaming fans for the fact that your franchises are failing. It's your fault, not the fans. So I appreciate you guys a lot. I would love to come back on and hang out with you guys.
Hell yeah.
But keep the good fight up, man, and keep doing it. Yeah.
Rock
Mike, absolutely, Mike.
I say,
I appreciate you, hanging out with me.
Wakanda forever, my brother.
Mike staring me down. I almost pissed my pants down.
I can't stand Ryan. I can't.
The racism is just so normal at this point.
I get to go take this off stream. So no, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys all soon.
All right, Mike.
Take care, bro.
Later.
All right, let's actually jump into these reviews now because I've been trying to get into these reviews for a while now. We're almost an hour in. Now, there was one review that was very, very on the nose. I think this was basically the one, right? A lifeless, focused, grouped attempt at throwing back to the classics. And someone else said, this fairy tale feels more like a corporate product than a magical event. It's a limp desertion on Disney's model that when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Right. So essentially, this entire movie, all the reviews are just all saying that it's just one big propaganda product for Disney, which I guess would make kind of sense only because this is their 100-year movie. So I can understand them wanting to throw in a couple oh, here's this, remember this, remember that. I get that. But to make an entire movie about that, that's kind of stupid. At that point, you should have just made a big what do you call those? Like a special, like a holiday special, maybe not a movie, but just make a 100-year Disney holiday special kind of a thing. If you wanted to call back to so many different things,
Remember when they had their last anniversary that was important, and they produced Fantasia, that musical.
Yeah,
it was also sort of kind of a best of a best show, kind of with new clips, and Mickey Mouse was directing it. That was an incredible movie. It had so much detail, and it was over 2 hours long. And people back then were like, "Wow, they're over 2 hours, blah blah blah," and it's original cut, and it was just marvelous. It was great stuff. Right. Because again, they were focusing on doing this. But yeah, also the reviews here. I think people are seeing through this. Also, thanks to YouTube. Also, thanks to the other social networks.
I mean, you have this one that says beautiful visuals with bland, forgettable music. No amount of fairy dust on the screen can magically turn this mediocre Disney movie into a magnificent one.
I told you.
And keep in mind, these are critics. These are not fan reviews. These are critic reviews, which, by the way, Rotten Tomatoes is going to pull a Rotten Tomatoes, and they're filtering reviews heavily on this for the audience. They only have 250 reviews for the audience so far. 250 on a Disney movie.
250 plus, but they do have all audience, and it's they make it sound like it's only 3% less or something like that, and I'm like, nah, I feel like you filtered those two.
To be fair, Hypno, only 250, but remember, this movie only opened at $20 million. That number could be accurate.
Right. If you see it from that
I guess it could be, but I think it's a little overly filtered, in my opinion. But I do. So one question I want to have is, I've noticed, and I said this in my video today, I've noticed that for Rotten Tomatoes, especially, the audience score and the critic scores have essentially swapped places on a lot of these movies. So what used to be extremely high filtered, critic scores that were obviously paid for with very low audience scores have now reversed to, well, the critics are trashing the movies now, and the audience score is super high.
Yeah,
and I think it's because they are overly filtering the audience score because they realize that people like us, YouTubers, or just other people who weren't mainstream critics, they were using the audience score as kind of like a metric to showcase just how bad a movie actually is. And also the audience score was pretty much where the culture war took place. A lot of it anyway. You would have a battleground of people throwing 10 out of 10s in there just because they wanted to, and you'll have 1 out of 10 in there just because they wanted to also. So it's kind of a battleground. So now they're heavily filtered to obviously favor the movie. But I do think that they are using the audience score to try to push this narrative, like, oh well, the critics may not like us, but look, the fans love us. Look, the fans absolutely love us. Look how high the score is, So, and I've seen this on many movies where the audience score is abnormally high, and you can tell when it's ultra fake, right? Like with Wish, at least it's like around the 80% range. I can kind of see a couple of shills being chosen over angry reviews, but when you have movies like The fucking Woman King at 99%, 100% audience score, never moved for its entire existence, and it stays at that number, I'm just like, yeah, bro,
masterpiece. That's what it is. A masterpiece.
This is a bit fake here,
It's tough because like even with the news, you don't know what's real and what's not. Like so, like it's everything you're seeing here is either bots or just Disney paying people to put positive reviews, and that's even come out. So like, I think people are just done. Like, how many people actually watch the news besides the 60 plus? How many people actually watch the news? Like do you trust
how
CNN?
many people
do you trust
read
Fox?
a newspaper? How many Americans can read a newspaper, or
bro,
for that matter, read?
On Thanksgiving Day, I walked into a gas station to get gas before going to see my pops, right? And a dude walked in behind me, asked the clerk, "Do you have a newspaper?" And the guy at the gas station's like, "No, we don't sell newspapers." And the homie got pissed, threw a fit, went full Karen in the gas station. And I'm just sitting here thinking, you carry a newspaper in your fucking pocket. It's called a cell phone. Like, I was
but the thing is, it's having paper in your hands. I can understand that you have like some sort of that vintage feeling. It's nice actually, right?
No, I mean, I'm not denying that. I totally agree. I mean, when I read, I prefer to read physical books. But the fact that the idea of him blowing up like a Karen, like literally cussed the dude out for not having a fucking newspaper in almost 2024. I'm like, I feel like the dude overreacted quite a bit.
Super boomers still rule my country, so there are newspapers everywhere.
I find this interesting that all of these white people that are throwing these terrible reviews up here, if that was me saying these things, I would be called racist. But then all these fucking white critics can just throw these bad reviews up there, and everybody's perfectly fine with it.
I don't know how or why. Maybe they have something, or they're just like, I guess, part of that group where they don't mess with them often enough, because if they did, it would just make what is already obvious even more chaotically obvious.
Doesn't sound very white to me. That sounds very tiny hattish.
Look at
this
review.
It's not a race thing. It's just people that are interested in, for whatever dumb fuck reason, protecting the status quo, protecting this rancid structure that exists.
Look at this review. Wish is actually more interested in spending 95 minutes reminding viewers of Disney's greatest hits.
What rating did you give?
South Park did this. Do you think the Panderverse gave these people like the ability to be like, South Park was honest and people are criticizing, we can finally be honest now? Like I genuinely think there's some of that too.
It's a thing, Leon, that happens every once in a while. Like we have these issues that pop up, throughout human history, but at least if we're talking about our modern history, and then at a certain point, if it blows up a lot like it did with us, especially underground at the beginning with YouTubers, it blows out of proportion, goes into big media platforms. People in those big media platforms start talking, and then that influences in a studio executive like the ones from South Park, and they notice it too. But at a certain point, that situation gets so out of hand that they're just like, fuck it, we're South Park. We're just going to state the obvious. And then everyone around them.
If it keeps going like this, the world's going to end up like Argentina by the end of the decade.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I mean,
unfortunately, but it's not the
first.
Unfortunately,
let's look at
thing.
They're going to have some fun.
Let's look at facts, though. Like, the economy sucks right now. Everyone's has tightened their wallets, and people don't trust, like I said, the news or these critics or anything. What they do, trust now is these, like us, YouTubers, putting legit reviews out there. And not just watching one, but watching multiple reviews to see if the movie's even worth, or the TV series is even worth watching. Like people are really tight with their wallets.
You got
and they're
pirate
tired.
sites,
They're
bro.
tired. They're tired of the crap that's being put out there. They go to the movies and they walk out like, why did I take my kids to this? They're being forced to watch certain agenda, whatever it is, and they're upset. Like
now, does anybody know if this movie is like inherently woke in any way, or it's just a bad movie?
There's some agenda, like not inherently woke, but there is some agenda going on.
It's Kovo woke. Yeah, that's short for Kovo.
I was just curious because like to see so many people trashing this movie, I haven't seen anybody talk about any kind of wokeness or anything. So I just found it to be interesting. That just goes to show it's that bad of a movie. It's just bad. Like that's all it is. It's a bad movie.
But that's the thing, though, Hypno. We've had that happen often. Like we talk about it with movies. Cage mentioned earlier about the length, movies being overly long with way too many segments that if you just cut them out, the movie would have been just fine as it was with those cutout scenes. The same thing happens in TV as well. There are episodes that they added extra 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes to them that if you had cut them out and rearranged the plot properly, the shots properly, you could have gotten the same result and it probably would have been a better viewing experience.
Right.
Just sitting down and talking.
I think people are less focused on things being woke nowadays because the video I made today was about Netflix released this new Christmas movie and it's being lambasted as the worst movie of all time. Now it's clearly probably not the worst movie of all time, but it's a Christmas movie that's so bad and bland. People on the left and the right, I found news articles that are conservative leaning and liberal leaning, and both of them are writing the same article. This movie sucks, and in neither article am I seeing anything about agenda. I'm not seeing, it's bad because of all these races, it's super diverse. It's bad because of woke agenda. It's bad because it's too white. All these articles from the left and the right are both just like, dude, this movie sucks. It's so incredible to see this level of unity about a bad movie that Netflix dropped.
That's why I really fucking liked Velma. I gotta tell you, I liked what was happening with Velma because it united the internet. Velma united the internet more than The Witcher, way more, and it had people on both sides saying, "What the fuck is going on? Like, why did you even bother doing this?" And when that happens, honestly, the internet's a much happier place for those couple of weeks. That's happening, and then afterwards we go back to hating each other.
With the Wish, I mean, just reading some of these reviews, what I get from it is that it encompasses Disney's poor plan over the past decade. They're saying like, it's just trying to have Easter eggs or give homage to previous films instead of being a good film in its own right. Disney for the past decade has been doing remakes and reliving their glory days. So this film just feels like an embodiment of Disney's failure the past decade.
Yeah,
they just made a movie about what they do all the time, basically.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I mean, this movie is the perfect.
Made a movie about abusing children.
Whoa!
Well,
that got dark. Thanks, Leon.
I'm just curious.
And Leon is there.
Way to bring the mood down,
in the chat. Atreus is black.
This is
we're at the hour mark. I need to do super chats, so get your final points in, and then we'll.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm kind of curious because it's an election year, and the Democrats, their left side, are kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. It's not a good year for them, and everyone's starting to see for what they really are, and everyone's starting to veer towards the right. So I don't understand why they would, pump out garbage for people to be, upset about it and say, "I'm tired of this."
As fast as possible, my Persian friend. They have
and
to
I'm
go
in Canada,
so.
I feel bad.
In America, no matter how retarded the left is, the right just chooses to lay down on their back and open their legs even wider. That's the problem in America. So
nice.
The right has always been that way. They really do that, and they're very tunnel visioned on certain things while ignoring
money,
the rest.
greed,
while the left.
Now for the most American thing of all, highlighting people's comments in return for financial reward. Take it away, Hypno.
Wow, you can't sound jealous that you don't make super chats any more than that.
Yeah, that's really envious, Ryan. That's not good, man.
We're gonna record that
$33 in a month and a half. That's a win in my book.
We need to start donating to Ryan so that he can buy a new microphone or a new wall, for that matter,
or a new fucking table,
or a chair, please, or a microphone stand.
Hold on, let me turn this off. There we go. Starting off with KRG, man. Becoming a YouTube member. Thank you so much, KRG. I appreciate it. Dropping a member chat right after. Member for 9 months. Says, freaking YouTube took away my membership to Hypno because they wanted to verify my new bank card, but I'm back. Thank you, KRG. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Show them the chaos doesn't die. We also got Panther 111 member for 6 months. Says halfway to my 1 year anniversary being part of the Bigot Army. Many more to come. Thank you, Panther. I appreciate you, man. You're halfway to that Super Saiyan 3 badge, I believe. So shout out to that. We also got Double Brewski for 5. Says, do you know what's wrong with tonight's show? You forgot to put a chick in it and make her gay. We have Cassie.
I already told you, Double Brewski. We made a compromise with a tomboy. Okay. Look, one day we'll find a hot Asian. All right, but for now, just stick with us.
I'm still working on the Asian representation. We never really have that. So I'm still working on that though. Ryan doesn't count.
Hypno. Work at it, man.
It's true. I can only go to so many Chinese restaurants. I can only ask so many people, man. Like, give me a break.
Jay is
you is a racist.
I'm not Persian.
Chinese.
I'm not racist. I like wonton soup. Leave me alone.
Arab or Armenian.
What about sashimi?
No.
You know what's sad? So one of my favorite actresses happens to be Angela Mao. Back in the day, she's kind of known as the female Bruce Lee. She's done stuff like a Lady Whirlwind, Lady Kung Fu. And I discovered literally like a year after I left Queens, New York, that she has multiple Chinese restaurants in Queens, New York.
Oh, come on,
man.
Man.
Like, bro, that would make my day if I met Angela Mao.
You gotta go to one of them. We also had a gifted membership war, it looks like, which was very interesting. We had Panther 111 gift 5 Hypnotic memberships. We had KRG gift 5 Hypnotic memberships.
Damn.
We had Panther 111 gift another 5 Hypnotic memberships. And then we had KRG gift another 5 Hypnotic memberships.
We running in green gifts. Yes.
Crazy trying to turn the chat green. So thank you, Panther and KRG. You guys are awesome.
Face off, man.
Yeah, KRG another 5 says, I mean, you should have seen it coming when you wish upon a star. It was there the whole time. Yeah, I don't know, man. With this movie, I just really feel like it's a culmination, like Cassie said, of everything Disney has been trying to do for the past few years now, and it's very clear where they're going. So I don't feel bad that this movie is completely bombing. I think it's going to lose. It depends, because these animated films, they usually have really strong legs internationally, but considering that it's a super diverse character and all that, who knows how it's really going to perform.
They made a brown character. It will not make it to China. I'm just telling you. Unless
I don't really know
white.
what the market for this movie is, Leon. Honestly, I really
I
don't.
would get commercials for it starting about 2 weeks ago. I started getting ads for it. Like I've been doing YouTube for about a year, and about a year ago is when this was announced, right? And so I would see this film like pop up and reference this throughout my tenure doing this, but it always felt so far away. And then when it came out a few days ago, I was like, oh, that's out already. It's like they never talked about when it was releasing until it released.
Yeah, I think they waited to the last second, and I think what they do a lot too with these animated films, because I know they did this with Elementals. They do a lot of their advertising on TikTok for these films. They put out these like super short videos that they sponsor, and they put it all over the place, and that's how they get like word of mouth for these animated films, because they know a lot of the younger people are on TikTok. So you really don't see traditional commercials for this stuff too much anymore. But if you go on TikTok or even Instagram, you'll see a bunch of fucking reels, like 10-second clips, 15-second clips about the movie, and that's their form of advertising that I see anyway. I don't know if that's the main form, but
Well, that new movie Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth horror film, dude, I was seeing ads for that for the last since the midway through September. I was like, oh, they're really trying to ramp up for that opening holiday weekend, and like every YouTube ad was for and this Wish was nothing.
It's because that movie, you got to imagine, probably has an older clientele. You think they're going to really be on TikTok looking at fucking slasher film ads? Like, it's not really gonna be on there. So it depends on like who the film is for, and since it's a typical Disney animation, I can see them focusing more on short form social media kind of advertising. At least that would be my mindset anyway. And
I got a
honestly,
super
it's
chat
a
drawing.
thumbnail, a face
wanted to-
reveal. No, it's not a face reveal. Although I am secretly black, according to my YouTube analytics now. I actually, according to that, I am a African American, non-binary, they them pronoun. Actually, I have Faye fur pronouns in there as well. And I prefer not to mention my age. There's a bunch of stuff I put in there. It should be good.
So you're just an
I'm also
enigma
part of
from
the
an
LGBTQ
alternate dimension.
community,
Of course.
because they asked me, so I wanted to make sure I got my representation. It's probably why my views
yeah.
went up so much lately. So
Okay, so no joke. No, I've seen my views go up ever since doing that as well. I put that I was
shit.
which
What?
I am. By the way, I didn't just put this. This is what I am, so everybody knows. Native American, trans, non-binary.
Oh, you went Native American.
I let YouTube know, dude. My views have gone up. I've gotten, I think, 25 new subs in the last 24 hours.
Oh, my views have
This is some
definitely,
min-maxing shit, man.
my views have definitely gone up since I've done it. And I don't want to be a
What the
conspiracy
hell's
theorist,
race
but
No.
the moment I
I'll
joined the Black
agree.
LGBTQ community, I definitely gained a lot of benefits from it.
I'll agree because I haven't done it and my viewership has gone down.
Well,
Your
that's a
viewership's
whole-
probably
that's a
gone
whole
down
nother-
because you keep doing the same thing that doesn't work over and over.
How about you go fuck yourself, word?
I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say it because anyway.
You arrogant twats. I've
well,
been here
dude,
twice as long
Do you
as
see
you.
that hair?
and
I would be
I'll
arrogant
outlive
too if I
you.
had that hair. He could fucking have his own L'Oreal commercial in his house.
Yeah, man.
Roger, you look like you're trapped in the basement screaming for meatloaf to your mom. Or I don't know where you're
Shut up,
located.
Iranian. Back to your terrorist state.
I have no idea what's going on there.
Anyway, God, Jesus, we're only at the hour mark and we're already like killing each other.
Oh man.
Simon, who's a hoe for 5 Canadian, says all these no-name brands are pushing for 3-hour epics because they all think
No.
the longer the better. Remember theatrical release and director's cut DVDs. Yeah, but the thing is, theatrical release and director cut DVDs, that stuff is going to die with the death of physical media, which is really, really unfortunate because physical media is slowly but surely trying to die. And I think it's going to happen in gaming first more than anything. I think it's going to be a long time before. I really don't even know if books are gonna. I know they try to do it with like Kindles and stuff. They try to do digital books, but I really don't think books are gonna die anytime soon. But gaming is definitely going to do digital within the next probably 10-15 years. I could definitely see it happening.
I think it's close.
sure.
I think it's
There's
more
a-
It's probably closer than that because if a manufacturer is willing to release a digital only console, like that's a pretty telltale sign of where they think the industry is going. So
yeah.
But that's my own personal opinion.
Especially when there's a paper shortage and like because of the manga and
these shortages are all fucking made up, honestly. That's my own personal.
There's a
own
whole
artificial
rainforest we can cut down and get paper if we need it. There ain't no shortage. Fuck them natives.
Exactly. Mr. Beast is planting millions of trees, man. We got paper for days. Don't worry about it. Green
Let's just
Dino
forget
Ranger.
they take
10.
decades to grow.
Green Dino Ranger for 10 says, "Great live, guys. I'm having a blast here. Do you all think that Hollywood will ever learn that people won't pay to see characters that are smug, strong, megalomaniac? What? I don't know how you say that word. Megalomaniacal, whatever the fuck.
Megalomaniacal,
Unpleasant girl bosses. No, I don't think they will because honestly, it's not really about money. When money is not your main goal, nothing else really matters, right? Like if you're not in it to make money, then you can literally do whatever you want because you don't have a risk of losing money. You will obviously lose money, but if it doesn't matter to you, then they're gonna do whatever they want. And for them, ideology is more precedent. Ideology is way more important, and they much rather not admit they were wrong. So even if they are gonna lose money a ton, these are very egotistical, stubborn, narcissistic people. They're not going to admit they were ever wrong. So they much rather just double down, triple down, and talk about how stunning and brave they are while they lose all the money in the world. Because at the end of the day, they're going to get bailed out at some point. And if you're Disney, you're subsidized by your parks anyway. So
also, big props to Green Dino Ranger for coming up with SMUG. That's a good acronym. Like I might just ape that just so you know, because that's really good. Props to you if you came up with that.
So Green Dino, make sure you get royalties from Leon. you know.
Make sure you trademark that shit like right now.
He is monetized. So he is getting...
no one here is giving props. That's fucking. That was good. Smug. Like, that's
I mean, I was gonna give it props, but I didn't openly say I was gonna steal it. Unlike Leon, you know. Like,
I'll just say strong, mega, unpleasant girl boss, because megalomaniacal is a blooper fest of a fucking word.
It definitely is.
What?
I get yelled at.
Easy word. Who invented MCU? Everyone uses that now. Smug had to start.
I get yelled at for my pronunciation so much in my comments. I think I get yelled at more about that than I do like my actual like content. You know, like I've always said the word Valkyrie. I've always pronounced it as Valkyrie. I just like to pronounce it that way. I was doing it in a video earlier, and I got, bro, I had like 20 comments, like literally spelling it out with the dashes and everything. They were like, it's pronounced
with
Valkyrie. Like with phonetics and all caps and everything. And I'm like, so Valkyrie, you know, it's just,
yeah, but now you're black, you can just reply back, I speak in Ebonics, and it works.
A boy.
On my thumbnail, like somebody got really mad at my thumbnail because I put like we was kings and shit, or we was kings right? With the E's, something like that, and somebody really took that shit seriously. They were like, "See, this is the nonsense I be talking about," and I'm like, "Yo, you're literally doing it. Like, what are you doing?"
At least I didn't say EBT nonsense. That would have been interesting.
That's how we scared away our black cats.
I know I have it. No, my black cats love me, man. They love me. I'm secretly black.
But they speak Ebola or whatever the fuck you just said. They speak Ebola.
It's called Talking Hood. You
Justin Akisola for $9.99 says they are making Century Asian. You know, I didn't even do a video about that. I forgot to totally do that, but they are making Century Asian. It's like Snake Eyes all over again. Could have been a white guy, bad movie, but goes to woke revolutionaries aren't consistent and outright dumb. Yeah, I forgot to make a video on that, but they are actually race swapping Sentry to Asian. So
at least it's a man.
Even if they had a white guy, that movie wasn't making money. Nobody besides like fucking me and 12 other people know who Sentry is. Like he's Superman for Marvel, but you know what? He's like Captain Marvel. His books don't sell; they get canceled. He's always like featured in other people's books. It's not just like a woke thing. This character has never sold, despite the fact that he's really interesting, but they market him like shit. So fuck the Sentry movie.
Yep, pretty typical though.
That's it.
Magnum Norse for 10. We got a lot of super chats tonight, guys. Thank you for all the support. Absolutely insane. I know Ryan is losing his shit right now. Magnum Norse for 10 says, wait, there ain't a VHS tape on this podcast? I'm really scared to know what's on that VHS.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking the same thing.
Suspicion
Yeah. You can place whatever sticker on top of this thing.
Get closer. Zoom in. What's that? Oh, I see. So mom's anal backdoor. There we go. Backdoor
beam?
number 3. I got you. Okay. Good job, Ryan. That's good.
Oh man.
That's a good one.
I pulled that from my table extender, so I'm gonna have to put this.
Something
it's a
else.
Cardboard table extender in your time stuck freaking 1989 room.
My question is, how does someone who grows up on such wholesome comedy like Mr. Bean turn out to be such a fucking racist?
Trans for $4.99 says, "Who you calling a hoe?" You gotta say this slowly. Niga. There you go. Gotta pronounce it.
No, bro. You know what it is? Andreas, you want me to say it, don't you? You
Jay
fucking
for
bastard.
2 says this is for Ryan's hair plug fund. Yeah, we need that. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
He paid in pounds too.
Here we go.
He needs a meatloaf fund. He needs a meatloaf
on my show. Thank you.
Ryan and Jay go at it so much. It's crazy.
You're saving.
Rants on my show. He's a fucking creator elitist. He's like Wood. You've got to be the best of the best. You've got to have the nicest camera and the nicest microphone, and you've got to pay money, and you've got to have like a sound.
Called quality.
You hear this, right, ladies and gentlemen? This rant that Ryan is on right now is fueled by lack of dollars. So please, if I will donate super chats to Ryan to help him get a what are you trying to get right now, Ryan? Ryan, what are you trying to get right now? A mic or a camera?
Mike,
no,
I think
I did plan on upgrading, but I bought 2 pairs of shoes for $40 instead.
Why? You never leave your dungeon. What do you mean?
Yeah, you never go anywhere.
That's
There
it.
was a
The fucking
hole.
Mike fund.
There was a hole in the last pair of shoes I had, and it's the only one I had. So I bought 2 pairs of shoes, so the upgrades are set
This is
back
not a
to
hole.
like
This is how you
1.
get into the shoe. It's supposed to be there so your feet can get in. It's not a hole. It's supposed to be there. How many times should I explain it to you? It's not a hole. This is how your foot gets in. I know you got a hobbit foot, but you can't.
My point is, ladies and gentlemen, I am living proof that you don't need a fucking dime to do this. This fucker up here has probably spent thousands. Look at his fucking walls, full of toys and desks and fucking swords. No wonder he's grown more than me. Yes, I'm on a budget. Imagine me with his fucking resources. I'd be 10 times
Crocs
the
or
size.
shoes?
How much money just in Nintendo Switch games?
Just so you guys know, the reason that I have money is because I, unlike Ryan, have a job. So
you work in an Indian call center. That's not a fucking job.
Indian tech support center. He
Oh
just
my
switches
God.
on his Indian
No
accent.
one will
Hello,
hire
how can I
me
help
in
you?
this
All right.
shithole country.
I want to see
Continuing
some
on.
What
super
I
chat
do.
art.
Yes, let's see some super chat art real
Oh
quick.
man.
Yay.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
Coach
Nice.
Art. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my
That's
God,
dope.
so
That's
wonderful.
awesome. I like the
Good shit.
abstract nature of it. It's pretty cool.
No, it's wonderful.
That
Now
is
for
sick.
my
Speaking of
abstract
art,
art,
I have partnered with an actual real manga artist. I've partnered with a manga artist. And
is it who I
it's,
think it is?
yeah, and
Yes!
he is redrawing or recreating my avatar. And if his work is good, you know, that might be an avenue I might explore to make an actual book one day. So we'll see.
Dude, you think you'll be impressed? I adore his.
I
work.
think I will too. His work was really, really good from what I saw. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Where the fuck am I? Right here. Oh no, wait. KRG for 2 says also for Ryan's plug fund. There you go. All right, see,
Well,
you're getting super
see,
chats, Ryan.
everyone's concerned. Everyone's concerned about you, Ryan. They want to take you out of poverty line.
I will donate partial the amount of super chats to make sure Ryan gets an actual microphone that doesn't look like a testicle. I will make sure that happens.
all the money. He doesn't pay any of us.
But I
Certainly
would.
doesn't pay me.
He tries to pay you an
He's
exposure
Cassie.
and squander
Put
it
a
with your
restraining
racism.
order on me.
Well, I don't say you have to be here. That's the thing. That's the difference. The people who get paid on other streams, guess what, Ryan? They have to be there. And if they're not there, they don't get paid. So that's
So this is the second time I've been on here, and all I know about Ryan is hair plugs, meatloaf, and Crocs. So that's
Don't forget Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal.
Don't forget about cardboard. Cardboard.
Steal
Listen,
that
Act
hat from an
Sola.
Iraqi
A
Persian.
member for 3 months. Says 3 months, and hell yeah, wish sucks. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Justin, thank you for being a supporter for 3 months. I
Oh,
appreciate that, man. Panthera trying to take the crown of gifted memberships tonight with another 5 hypnotic memberships. Man, he's going
Paint
crazy.
it all green. my brother.
Panthera is going crazy.
Y'all are
Shout
killing
out
it.
to Panther 111, man. You are killing it tonight. We got Kilton Cajun for a member for 5 months, man. Says Ryan is the witchcraft version of RK Outpost. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake on Disney's part.
I think
Wow.
it needs a pause. I think this calls for a pause.
Oh, please. Yes. Give it a clap.
I think this
Give it
one's
a
good.
Oh nah. Hold up. Moment of silence, bro. Moment of silence. Hold up. That's wow. Wow.
Moment of silence for Ryan. Man.
For the one asking who's laughing like a hyena, that's me. Okay, I can't help it when this ridiculous shit just gets said out in the open. I kind of move my mouth away from the mic at that point, unless you want me to blow people's ears.
That is fucking hilarious.
You don't allow me to eat popcorn while we can hear his hyena laugh. Thank you so much.
Because the hyena laugh is a great marketing tactic.
It is? Popcorn is also great tactic.
Ryan Fennell.
Moving
Ryan
on.
Fennell is Geeks
It
and
is a
Gamers'
marketing tactic.
nuclear expert. He is America's nuclear expert. I am North Korea's nuclear expert.
What the
There-
fuck?
there's-
What
there's
are we
your
talking
difference.
about here?
If you could,
Fennell
if you
was
could
a
destroy
nuclear
countries as
engineer.
badly as you've destroyed your hairline, you are a great asset.
At least I show my hair, bitch.
What hair?
Why did you say it like that?
Today. That was an emotional bitch. Here's that. I show it, okay, bitch. Like, oh my God,
the way he eloquently said, he says, "At least I show my hair, bitch."
Hey, with all due respect, though, when Cassie shows the hair, it's a good time. Okay? The hair, the curls, it's good stuff. It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
she has to give a good time. That's a reason for
Did you
being
see
on
when
the
she
show.
came from the fucking movies
At
the other
Diana
night?
Ross
She
concert.
looked like fucking what's her name? Tina Turner, just with fucking
Yeah,
curly hair.
yeah, bro.
Love it. She had the denim jacket or whatever it looked like. I don't know, leather jacket. It was cool.
Tina Turner
Heisman
had style, bro.
She did. Heisman, member for 3 months, says, Hypnotic, you're doing fantastic tonight. You guys are amazing. Let's keep fighting for our country, our rights, and our freedoms, and let's party. Absolutely, man. I can get behind that.
I will continue to fight
man.
to take over your country or take back the country you took from us.
Well, you're not going to take over shit if you keep fucking running around with holes in your shoes.
That's why I got new shoes.
They're not holes.
$20 shoes and not the last one. Green Dino Ranger for 5 says, thanks all. I did think of Smug. Say it whenever you want. I'd be happy to see it used. I will take one shout out as a payment. There you go. Shout out to
Every
Green
time I use it, I'll
Dino
shout you out,
Ranger.
Green Dino Ranger.
What's up, Green Dino Ranger?
I know.
Shout
I just want to say, man, you open up a new pathway for the term smug bitch. Like you really
100%.
did. Now it's even more meaning.
And we got Sonia Lisette for 20. Ooh. Big one. Says, been having a blast with you boys. Ryan, relax. Control yourself. Been having a blast with you boys.
Tone down that horniness, you bastard.
His whole
Does she make the mean meatloaf?
Look at those lack of clothes.
Hope
if
to be
only
back for the
Cassie
next
wore
one.
that little.
Oh my God.
Big pass.
Let me read this super chat, you fucking bald
And we
bastard.
just read the
Hope to be back for the next one. Have fun and be well, darlings. Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate the 20. That was massive. Thank you,
bro.
So much.
Just say
Ryan
you want a Latina goddess and just move on. What the
Ryan
fuck?
wouldn't know what to do with a fucking Latina. I swear to God, she can guide him throughout the entire way, and he would just have no idea. He have
You would get frustrated because there's 2 holes.
First off, oh shit. First off,
he's like, wait,
the first thing that would happen is that she would conquer his household, kick him out of the house, demand that he gets a job, and will not allow him to return to his own household until he brings home a paycheck.
100%. You are not even joking. That is.
I'm a private dancer. I dance.
You, Sonia.
That's
appreciate
straight
it.
up.
Here, I appreciate it. If not, then regardless, I appreciate it. Thank you, Sonia.
Ryan's favorite.
Warsmith Korath, man, these super chats are coming in like crazy. Thank you guys. Warsmith Korath for 4.99. Ryan, can you draw a rabbit? Rabbit what? Rabbit it on your head as from a distance it will look like hair. Oh,
I think he was saying, can you draw a rabbit
hair
from your head? It would look like a hair from a distance.
It's a play.
But I get the puns, though. I get the puns. It would look like hair. H-A-R-E. I appreciate it. That's good puns, man.
That's
Thank you, Warsmith.
Super chats is just insulting Ryan while adding to his fund.
Bro, what is going on? KRG gifted
There's
another
even more.
5
Shit, no.
Hypnotic memberships, and then Panthera gifted another 5
What's going
Hypnotic
on?
memberships, and then KRG gifted another 5 Hypnotic memberships, and then Panthera took the crown again with another. What is going on? What are you guys doing?
Yo, chill. We understand the love, but save your bank accounts for Christ's sakes.
Bro, this is
Don't.
You gotta feed yourselves.
The whole fucking chat's gonna turn green by the end of this stream. That's just
Give us more money,
power.
more money, more contributions, more money.
What do you mean us? You were just complaining you don't get paid.
You literally just said I don't pay you. What do you mean? What do you mean? Us.
No more money. He's broke, apparently.
Ryan is as flexible and self-denying as the U.S. political parties.
Look at him.
Last but not least, we got Green Dino Ranger for 2. Says a little something to feed Ryan's savagery. There you go.
Check out reality-based music. The pilot episode will be out tomorrow, 9 p.m. UK time, where you can give us lots of super chats of your favorite songs.
Bro, we have 30 super chats in the first hour and a half. That's insane.
Yeah.
Jay decided to throw in another one for 5. Says I have it on good authority. Ryan is a stud. Oh fuck! His dad bred him with his sister. Oh my god.
Okay. Jay, Jay is a dirty bastard. He's had like 2 wives. His best male friend
he's
is
had
now
2 more than
living
you.
with him. He is a fucking sex pest. He has to go to work next year. Work. Sex work is what it is.
Oh my God,
Jay, you are a wonderful, wonderful man.
I'm like,
Thank you for degrading this, Mr.
Jay, that was awesome,
Brian.
man. Awesome
2
comment.
J's, 1 stream.
That's definitely gonna get a fucking. I claim
this is turning into a roasting
session. Yeah, seriously. And then KRG took the fucking crown again. 5 more gifted Hypnotic memberships, man. What is how many members is that? Can you fucking get a count? Holy shit.
We're past 50. That's all I can say.
It's the Ali Frazier fucking like gifted membership.
See how powerful I am, folks. I got rid of words. I can get rid of fucking jokes back again somehow. I get rid of all of you. The power.
I don't know if it was
reality
all the
base.
super chats or just the abuse, but my computer couldn't take the abuse Ryan was taking. All these just StreamYard just crashed me. It was gorgeous.
We're at 50 Hypnotic memberships for the night. Holy shit, man.
I told you.
My outro is going to be much longer on the next stream. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. All right, man. Let's get into another topic. I didn't think this was going to take.
All right. Wait. Panther, KRG, crazy. Y'all chill. Okay, I know you're gay for each other. You don't need to show that through fucking gifts. Chill for now. All right.
No, good job, guys. That's awesome to see the chat turn so crazy green. But KRG is in the lead, I believe. Yeah. Not to push Panther, but KRG might be in the lead. All right. Anyway, so
baby, let's go.
Let's talk about because I want to get some thoughts on this. Let's talk about Nia DaCosta. So Nia DaCosta is probably one of my more popular videos lately, and reason why is because a lot of people are treating her not. I don't want to say aggressively, but like, so she's the one that's getting all the blame. Right, so the Marvels is bombing. That's obvious, right? The Marvels is going to lose the most money any MCU film has ever lost, I believe, anyway, if I'm not mistaken, more than the Eternals, which is still crazy to me, in my opinion. But Nia DaCosta is getting a lot of the blame, and the reason why I want to bring up Nia DaCosta is because I just find it to be very interesting that she is basically being shilled for simply because of her skin color, and there's proof behind that. Because there's an article that I did a video on, and I kind of want to get you guys' take on this, is that they're essentially trying to spin the narrative of the Marvels bombing by trying to say, well, even though it bombed in the box office right now, and it's the worst movie that's ever come out for MCU, it's still great because it's the highest grossing film for a Black woman ever. So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that spin on that? Because I think that's a really aggressive spin. That's essentially, for me, I take that as, well, you're essentially admitting that Black women can't fucking produce good films, right? Like if you're trying to say that the Marvels is the highest grossing film ever produced by a Black woman, and this is also the highest losing film for the MCU ever, that's not the win that you're trying to portray here.
It's a win for me, Hypno.
I'm sure it's a win for you.
Bigotry of low expectations. That's all it is.
That's crazy. I mean,
they haven't even made 200 million. They're about to break 170 million.
I said 200 million. It would not make 200 million.
Wait, it hasn't passed 170 million yet?
No, it's like 163 million last I checked.
It only made 3 million in like 2 days? Are you serious?
This is the sad reality of celebrating mediocrity. It's not the race thing that's the issue. It's just the past decade. We've like these companies celebrate being mediocre or worse in some really warped mindset. Meanwhile, they're bleeding fucking money, and they deserve it for really not cracking down on trying to make better content and trying to earn the trust of the people they're trying to sell their bullshit to. None of that matters to them, and they're sitting here parading like, hey, congratulations, you guys fucking suck balls, but here's this little win for you. Like, nobody cares. You're sitting here on your fucking high horse, and then you're wondering why everyone fucking cannot stand your bullshit.
But isn't that pretty nuts, though, that they're trying to turn this into a win for diversity somehow. So like
I mean,
I don't know if it's out of
desperate.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I don't know if it's out of desperation because they have to do that, right? Like that's their entire mantra. But after a certain while, like you can only shill so hard before like people kind of call you out on your bullshit. And it's very clear that if you're trying to turn this movie into a win of any kind, it's very clear that you're full of shit. You know, this is not a good look for you. And saying that, oh, this is a top grossing film for Black women, I don't know if they're trying to turn this into a Black woman thing or if they're just trying to turn it into a let's protect Nia DaCosta at all costs because people are attacking her online.
Oh yeah, let's protect the person that left before the movie was even fucking finished to go work on another.
Can you believe that? Can you fucking believe that? Like my mind was blown when I read that. Like she actually left because don't get me wrong, she had other obligations, but the fact of the matter is like you're making an MCU film, bro. Like you should probably stick around and maybe watch the post-production, maybe go through editing. You know what I mean? Like
I don't blame her. Look, man, to sit here and act like these films are worth a fuck, that they are a dime a dozen now.
Yeah.
To literally sit here and act like these films are valuable at all, it just speaks. It to me, it expresses how I feel about these films. They're dime a dozen, worthless trash, and the fact that she's more honest about it, whatever.
Yeah,
I just
no,
love
but
the fact that the most successful.
Are you sure though? It's honesty and not just
role is one of the biggest financial failures we've ever seen.
It's not necessarily honesty in a direct attempt. It's more of an indirect.
Because I feel like
you hit the nail on the head with the honesty thing. I kind of like a few weeks ago or last week or whatever, there was this the bunch of headlines being ran that specifically by Bounding into Comics and their ilk that she went out and she attacked all the straight white males by saying that everyone who's criticizing the movie online are racist, white Republicans or whatever. But what she actually said was there is a small subset of individuals. So even when she was like, yeah, they're out there. It's small, she wasn't out here blaming all straight white dudes being racist homophobes for making the movie fail. She was like, that pocket of the internet exists. I'm not really paying too much attention to it. I want to focus my time and energy on the valid criticism or the people that like the film. And I was like, you know what? That's a fair and professional answer, but that's not how the media was spinning the headlines. And so no, I think she actually is, at least in some part, being honest. Now, regardless of whether she's earned that sort of olive branch I'm extending her, I don't know. I can't pretend to know a whole lot about her. And again, her movie still fucking failed regardlardless. So, but at the end of the day, I think that she's actually getting more hate than she deserves, which is causing this sort of backlash to other outlets giving her more protection than she deserves. When in all reality, she's a mediocre filmmaker at best that made an awful movie at best, and life will go the fuck on.
But why would you hire someone who's so mediocre to lead?
Because you can control her.
Because she's Black.
Well, Hypno, I do have something I want to point out. I think this will clarify everything. In the private chat, I did say.
Flash a video,
you really want to show this clip, don't you?
Yeah.
You've been trying to show this.
No, because
he's always trying to sneak in this material, right?
No, seriously, it's literally speaking exactly what we've been talking about, but this was said decades ago.
All right, Ryan. Not Ryan. All right, Slayer. I'm going to.
You fuck.
I'm going to show this
don't
video.
Want to see your dick,
dying to show this video. Okay.
Oh, this one.
I'm at the level of a top producer who, between them or separately, will make flop after flop after flop after flop.
I like the way he says flop.
I'm not going to name them, but I know who they are. And they're not all American either. And they still get paid huge sums of money for being in films that nobody wants to see. And producers make pictures out of which they take enormous sums of money. And the films, again, are not films people want to see. They're always going to blame somebody else. Always. Not their fault. Oh, no, you were the one who said, or whatever. And there's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
Yeah, that was pretty strong.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to say. Like, this is literally what we've been talking about all the time. It's just more blatant than it was back then, I would say.
But it always existed. I mean, it's not something new. It's not like a new phenomenon. Mm-hmm. But right now, you have upward failure with people who are really like an embarrassment to the craft. Yeah. It used to be a thing back in the days as well, but you had at least like semi-competent people that somehow kind of deserved to be there. Maybe they were not producing the best movies, but at least they were producing a few of them, and through some connections they were getting, a shot at the big budget movies. But the directors we're seeing right now, they're literally coming out of almost no experience or not any related experience, because like kind of leveraging a product like this. And I mean, fact of the matter is, as far as I can recollect it right, she wasn't directing the action sequences as well, right? That was kind of, passed on to someone who was experienced. Because the thing about entertainment industry is that you need experience, that you need to master your craft. It's not, if you don't do that, if you don't really know what your skills are capable of, what you're like able to show, then you won't produce any high level content.
No, I agree.
At this point,
100%.
I have to genuinely question: is there anybody that isn't in their 70s or above that actually has legitimate fucking talent? I'm sure they're out there, but I can't. I don't know where the fuck they are. Where the
under
fuck
the
are
radar?
they?
That's the problem. The
Listen,
thing is,
I
radar.
I go to the film festivals, right? Even to the small ones, and I see indie movies that are actually great, good movies, like directed from decent people, and you meet the actors and the directors afterwards, and they're like also like pretty normal and decent people, and you ask yourself, why not these people like running their shows and their movies in Hollywood? Why they not getting any bigger audiences? And yeah, I mean, they also tell us the same story. You need certain circles to be in.
There's still director like Jordan Peele. You guys like give her whether you like his movie it doesn't really matter. Jordan Peele is out there doing original work. He's not doing like superhero movies. He's always his way or the highway because he stays in full production. Like Jordan Peele is a modern day fantastic filmmaker that, in my opinion, his movies aren't necessarily for me about half the time. Some I've enjoyed, some I haven't. Again, you've got Edgar Wright. Like I think that we're not giving credit to a lot of modern directors because we're all stuck in this homogenized Disney, Star Wars, Marvel headspace when there is more out there than just that.
I see Jordan Peele already had a name though, and that's the thing. Like
not
he
as
already
a
had a name.
he had a name as a comedian.
That's an easy That's an easy transition though.
Yeah.
Really? Where's Dave Chappelle directing $1 billion blockbusters?
He could, but he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
That's the simple fact. They don't want to.
No,
in
Dave
Hollywood.
Chappelle's too busy criticizing the tiny hats words. He's got a lot on his side.
My point is,
he tried to do his own thing, and he had
being
to.
a director is a completely different job than being a comedian. Going out there and writing jokes and making people laugh, and then taking a step back and being in charge of an entire film production and blocking and music and all this stuff.
Well, I mean,
that's a very different.
He had Saturday Night Live. He had like a great training ground to write jokes and be, and kind of deliver like even on the spot material and kind of being flexible with that. It's a great like craftsmanship type of school, right? Having a show like Saturday Night Live, it definitely gives you a full spectrum type of immersive experience on how to run a set. So with that type of experience, if you are at least a bit more observant and kind of smart, you can translate it into running your own film business. I'm saying there are some decent actors out there still in the US, but the incredible thing is that they're now kind of they're like marginalized. They're running around in these smaller festivals trying to kind of, find a distribution for their movies, and they're actually good movies, even with stars sometimes. But they don't get any type of amplification in Hollywood.
Well, my question was, so just really quick, my question is, I really feel like this is why they hire these people, right? You hire people who clearly don't have the experience to do the job properly. You already know they're not going to be able to pull it off 9 times out of 10. You give them a $300 million budget, which already is fucking mind-blowing for an experienced director handling $300 million. Can you imagine how difficult that is? Now you're going to put it in the hands of an inexperienced director who clearly is in over her head, but you hire her because at the end of the day, if your film is garbage and it flops and it bombs, at least you can get a headline like this. And this is what this is really about. Right. So the fact that they can run a headline that says Nia DaCosta makes her mark on Marvel history with the Marvels, all because she's the top grossing Black woman ever. Are you serious right now? Like that? This is the way you're trying to spin this movie and be proud of this movie in any way? It's like what Ryan's doing right now. It's a fucking slow clap, right? Like, why do I care?
Brownie.
why do I fucking care? None of this matters to me. Right, like this movie. You think I give a fuck? First off, that the movie was directed by a black woman. If I'm into the MCU, right? If I'm into comic book movies, you think I care if it's directed by a black woman a lot? I know some people might, but the majority of people, 98%, don't give a fuck about that. So why are you spinning this into this? It's because you have no choice. This is why you hired her. This is why you got her.
Talk about black girl magic, the ability to just make 130 or $150 million disappear out of nowhere. That's black girl magic.
This movie needed bare minimum. I think it was 450 million.
It needed the budget's 300 million. The budget's 300 million.
Sorry.
It needed about $600 million.
Yeah, it needed 650 to 700 million to break even. Over 500 million.
That's insane, bro. Yeah, that's insane. The amount of fucking money that this movie's gonna lose.
I think this is kind
of sorry, real quick, just with the type of creators that I have grown up, really admiring, like a John Carpenter. He shows directly that having more talent means less money expenditure. Okay, Carpenter was known for making great films on shoestring budgets. And you know why? Yeah. Because he was great at his craft. He really knew how to make the best out of every little thing. And he knew how to run a set. These people, the reason why they're blowing all this fucking money is because they're unfucking talented. Money is not, like, spending more money is not going to make untalented people somehow better. And it shows. It's sad that's the reality, but it is.
The thing is, the problem right now that we're also experiencing on set is this so-called, it's sort of they try to install this democracy on set, right? Get all the opinions. They're all standing in front of the monitor. What you think? What you think? What you think? And what you think? It's like, we need a bit more dictatorship back on set. Right now, we're doing these, because we're doing these collective thought experiments in front of the monitor that takes for hours. We're trying to kind of let all people speak from all departments. Because if a director is insecure, if a director is not really prepared, if a director really pays more attention to other stuff, then he needs more and more opinions to kind of find the right pick. Right, the lucky pick that saves the day. But the problem is, if you have a $300 million budget movie, this is a strategy that is, just made to fail. Right, so you can't pick a movie. You have to direct the movie. You have to make bold choices. You have to take some risks, right, and to defend also some of your choices. You can't always just stand and sit there and debate endlessly how to set up a shot. Oh yeah, then maybe let's do it tomorrow. No, this is not how a movie works.
Coach is right. We need more.
That John Carpenter was probably a bad example to use, though, because I agree with you. He's a fantastic filmmaker. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. However, most of his movies were actually financially, they were flops. The Thing, regarded as one of the greatest horror movies of all time, flop. Big Trouble in Little China, flop. That movie he made about like the Gateway to Hell, flop. Like people think of John Carpenter because his movies have grown respect with time, but most of them actually bombed at the box office when they were released. So I don't know if that was a good example to use for a director that knows how to work with what they've got in the times these films were made.
Well, I will say this: Ghost of Mars was him intentionally taking Hollywood's money and shitting on them.
Thank you. Ghost of Mars movie, I couldn't remember the name of it. By the way, it's a great movie. Ghost of Mars is, in my opinion, probably his most underrated gem. But yeah, it's just that he's. I totally, he's an incredible filmmaker, but even in his prime, so to speak, he wasn't doing anything that Nia DaCosta wasn't doing, losing a lot of money.
He was flopping with products that were risky, that were made out of craftsmanship, out of a shared vision, and they were going into a certain direction. They were risking stuff, and sometimes they were failing at the box office because even Once Upon a Time in the West failed initially when it was released because they put out Ennio Morricone's music and inserted it just 20 years later with the director's cut of Sergio Leone, and all of a sudden they re-released the movie and it was a major hit in the U.S. So sometimes a movie isn't just, is coming out when it's not the right time. We had many examples like that where we actually saw great movies kind of flopping at the box office because people were not ready for it. But at least there were great intentions behind it. And Carpenter was a great maximizer. He was really maximizing his budget. He was not throwing money out of the window for stupid shit that made no sense in relation to the stories that he was about to tell.
People that work with Carpenter cite the fact that he always has everything set up for the day, that he knows how to make the best out of so little. Now, just because there was actually competition out there, you know, it is what it is. When you have the thing coming out that is this depressing, fucked up alien film, and E.T. is coming out right alongside it. That's happy.
If you look, if you look at the movies that Big Trouble in Little China had to compete against, it's a different ballgame than today.
Who is going to remember these films other than they're connected to a universe that has long passed its prime? There is nothing to remember. At least flops back then, I can look back at some of them being like, damn, it's crazy how this flopped. No one's gonna look at the Marvels and be like, oh, it's crazy how this
You say that, but everyone spent 20 years shitting all over the Star Wars prequels, and the few of us that defended them now have to hear people talk about how they secretly love them all the time. I'm not saying this movie will get that.
Because we get the shit. We get the dog shit that we have now, and we just look back at the previous level of dog shit. Being
the prequels were always good. Stop that slander. The prequels were always good.
I agree with words for once.
Oh shit!
Slandering Star Wars.
Oh,
you agree with words?
We had higher standards back then because we were used to getting higher quality on, and at least when it comes to cinema. We had higher standards. Now we're just happy if something actually doesn't waste our fucking time. That's the shame of it all.
Like One Piece.
Buy a $70 PS5 game, you damn whore.
Way to diss Diablo 4 in the fucking comments.
It's so random.
Forever. Stadia will live again through Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Oh my god.
I prefer Xbox Squall Gaming, or Xbox Titus Gaming. That's just for you, Hypno.
Really bad.
I felt like there were great connotations in those comments, but I will refrain myself.
A bad joke. Oh my god.
Oh yes,
if they actually gave people that knew what the fuck they were doing a chance, they would dominate the industry. It's almost like these people that actually do have talent, that actually know how to manage money, that actually have good ideas, they're being suppressed because they want us to grow to accept mediocrity as the normal. That's the only thing I can come up with.
That's true.
Perhaps it's a big ass conspiracy.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's
a conspiracy theory.
I
can't sit here and tell you that I have the legitimate proof. I don't have a layout.
Go to the website of the American Philosophical Institute. That's exactly what they were building for the last 3 centuries. Create mediocrity as a society norm, so nobody would stick out. There wouldn't be any fascism. Everything is under control. They planned and executed this. They even stated. You can look it up online. They say it blatantly. You're totally right. They want mediocrity to be the new standard of quality. So nobody kind of sticks out. Nobody has to be ashamed, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't that the reason for YouTube getting rid of the dislike button? It's just no creators don't feel so hurt when they see dislikes on their videos.
That was the literal biggest bullshit excuse I've ever seen.
Yes.
It always has been, because they simply just don't want a situation to happen with Rings of Power or previous projects that nobody liked them from the trailer.
He said it.
No. Seriously.
T-Gap, I need you to go through all these episodes and see what happens more. Him bringing up Rings of Power or me bringing up DBZ. I want to know these numbers.
Or me bringing up
Rings of Power? The trailer? Bro, I can pull this shit up for you right now. Hold the fuck on. I'll tell you
I was saying I want a live count to see who brings what up more. Like who uses that as a point of comparison more.
Slayer 100% is Rings of Power.
I fucking hate that show. I don't think I made it clearer.
Folks, I just want the apathy to set in, then all the franchises die, then everyone will have to make suggestion videos and Rising Stars videos like me.
Bro, what the heck are you? Aaron from Attack on Titan?
You know what I like? I like that Ryan, who is...
Go for it. I'm sorry.
No. It's just, it's funny to me. Like Ryan, the one trick pony guy, Ryan, is claiming that everybody else is going to die when their one trick dies off. It's like, you are a one trick pony too. Like,
Ryan will never die out, though.
We can adapt, Ryan. We can adapt.
I'll never run out of rising stars.
I guarantee you, we can adapt, Ryan. Guarantee.
And because I'll never.
And you
run
realize
out of
that if rising stars go away because they don't have any entertainment to talk about, who are you going to make a rising star?
I'll bring them on.
Joe
Biden.
I literally have 70 of them ready to be unleashed.
Yeah,
80 suggestion videos. I make more
ready to be unleashed. What are they? A swarm?
This fucker makes in like 2 years.
So, look,
I know,
the
but
reality
at least
is
I'm honest about
Ryan's going to become the modern. Ryan is going to become the modern day Keemstar because when there is there's no entertainment to discuss. Guess what? Motherfuckers on YouTube create drama and they just go back and forth with each other. So it is what it is. There'll be entertainment here somehow. Gaming.
He's
YouTube
approaching the hair of Keemstar.
It's not about playing video games. I'm sorry to have to inform you guys. It's about people arguing with each other, sitting in spaces, bitching about how they're. This is what I was listening to. Two spaces, each of which went on for like 8 hours each. Of this fat motherfucker saying, I'm not upset that someone asked me how many turkeys I ate for Thanksgiving, but I'm gonna sit here for 2 fucking hours straight and bitch about it. That's literally what gaming Twitter is. So if there is no creatives in the space, then there will be at least entertainment somehow. Someone's gonna bitch about something. People are gonna argue over something. There will be entertainment. That is what I've discovered from gaming Twitter. So
let's talk some drama. Drama.
Completely unrelated, but Cash, that's a dope hat. I just realized it was Evangelion. Nice hat.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, very nice hat indeed.
I do want to cult classic, Saturday Night Hypnosis.
Unhinged.
Unhinged edition.
What Persian man has to say?
What?
Persian man.
Well, we can't hear what he has to say because you keep interrupting him. You fuck.
Yeah.
Goddamn white supremacist.
I kind of got a semi because Cassie went off, and I was just like, "Wow, this is awesome."
I have a thing with Cassie, like it's a three strikes, and you're full screen at that point. So she was on her third rant for the night. So I'm like, you know what? You're full screening. I'm good. I'm gonna walk away for a few minutes and let you rock. So.
I'll let Persian man speak. I've got to blow my nose.
Wow, yeah. At least you're getting something blown. Holy shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
God knows nothing else gets blown in Ryan's house. Anyway, go ahead.
Motherfucker, damn.
Well, I was going to mention a few things, but everyone kind of like mentioned what I was going to say. Like you see guys like Dave Filoni moving up. You see what's her name with Velma getting another season.
Mindy
Yeah, that's her name. Like I care. But like it's kind of weird. Like it's almost like the Trump effect. Like it's like Trump did this thing where he narcissist. Like he came out and said things and did things purposely, and people think, oh, he said these things like he's such an idiot. Well, no, he did them purposely because it's in the news, positive or negative. And it seems like Disney and HBO and all these companies are kind of following track, even though they don't want to admit it. Like it just seems like they always have to have their names in the news. Like that title you had on about the black woman, it's new, it's clickbait. People are going to talk about it. It's talking about Disney. It's in people's mouths, and it's kind of gross, to be honest. Like, and we feed into it. That's the thing.
It's kind of like what Christopher Lee said, right? So like he was saying that, when they fail, it's everybody else's fault but their own, and that's just like that's a culture. That's like a mindset in Hollywood, and it's been that way since well before this whole culture war thing started. They've always kind of failed upward, and that's just been a thing. So to see it all the only difference is now with social media, it is much more prevalent in front of all of us. Like it's in our eyes. We see it all the time. We have access to our phones 24/7. We could read literal like celebrity interviews where they're blaming everybody else but themselves. We could read interviews with directors talking about how, if just the fans were more open-minded instead of just saying, oh, well, maybe I could have did this differently, or maybe I did this wrong. No, it's never the fault of the creator, which is interesting, right? Like I was always told when you put your art out there, you need to be ready to be critiqued, right? That's how it's supposed to be. If you showcase your art, you need to make sure that you're ready to take the criticism, good or bad.
This is the only way how you progress as an artist, how you can improve, right?
But see, the thing is, they're not trying to progress as artists, Coach. This is not about artistry. None of this is about artistry. It never has been, never will be. It probably was, decades ago, but it isn't now. Artistry died when everything became so mainstream, which is why, we have these discussions all the time about gatekeeping in certain avenues and how it's actually healthy to sometimes gatekeep certain things. But, once things go mainstream, and that's kind of like, I think I was watching Cassie's stream when she said, gaming kind of went to shit when it became mainstream, and that's really the problem. Like a lot of things, when they go mainstream, the love of the actual thing kind of dies, and then it just becomes, well, how can we keep this machine going so we can milk it for as much as it's fucking worth before we just let it die off, because it's only going to get milked for as long as they possibly can.
Of course. And I think, in a way, everything is going through that type of cycle of being heavily commercialized and therefore for a while losing a little bit of its spirit and its soul. But eventually, back in the days, it was always like this, that somebody who was really passionate about certain IPs would kind of, step in or just grow to fit in those bigger shoes and would actually kind of, put back the quality into the scope of the production and would actually, save the day. And if you look at Steven Spielberg, if you look at Francis Ford Coppola, if you look at these great directors that came out of the 70s and kind of, created the new Hollywood, even they flopped with some bigger budget movies. But when they flopped, they would actually sit there and talk openly about it, why they flopped, what the reasons for the mistakes have been, what the problem with the production was, without like pointing the finger. They were just analyzing the aspects of critique and were openly discussing it, and they were making it better next time because now they had something to prove. Because if you openly discuss your mistakes, you have to kind of improve, otherwise you are a fool and you're doing it on purpose. And that was
I don't believe that Steven Spielberg was doing that, otherwise Kathleen Kennedy would have learned from that.
No.
Kathleen Kennedy learned.
It went even so far that George Lucas had to sign for, I think it was Warner Brothers. I'm not really sure which studio it was, but he had to sign a paper that he would personally oversee all of Steven Spielberg's action for, I think it was Back to the Future, that he would deliver on time without overextending, not even a day, and all that stuff, because he really believed in his friend so much. So back in the days, I think it was a different culture. People were actually, kind of helping themselves out and were honest about their success and also their failures. Talking about flops, Hook was a major flop, right? It wasn't the best movie that was ever produced, but they tried to do something, right? They try to kind of adapt this into more contemporary contexts, and some of the pieces of the movie worked. I still like it to watch. I mean, I feel like there is something, there are some lovable aspects about this movie. It's not the best movie, but people back then were failing upwards as well, but at least, they were trying to produce better stuff or different stuff. Now they're failing upwards because they're just kind of maintaining the status quo. They're just preserving the agenda, and that's
I wouldn't
really
consider
concerning.
what you're describing as failing upwards, though. So, like, The Rock told this interesting story about how when he first got into WWE, he sucked, and but Vince McMahon saw, hey, you did bad. I'm going to send you down to the minor leagues to train for a few years, and then once you've cut your teeth, you can come back. So it's not that he failed upwards so much so as he failed, but enough potential was seen to say, go ahead and work on this and then come back, because I wouldn't consider that a failure. I consider that that's actually a success. It's a success with a slowdown period, but it's still a success, as opposed to what we're seeing nowadays. It's flat out failing upwards, as opposed to a failure that as opposed to a success masquerading as a failure.
I feel like what just sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I think egos are in the way of a lot of these directors. Like I think they need to be mentored by some of these great directors more, and have more learning as they and groom them a little bit better. And if they still fail, then that's on them. But like starting off little indie films and then put into a big budget film, that was on. And I said that the last time I was there. It was kind of unfair for her to be put in that position, and it was. But she should have realized, this is way out of my league. I shouldn't be doing this. Right. And I think egos get in the way of a lot of these directors. even Stallone, when he talks in his documentary, he talked about doing Paradise Alley and all that. His ego was too big. He thought, I can't fail because I got away with Rocky and all that.
Oh, you're saying ego. I thought you were saying eagle.
No. So the Eagles failed after Don Henley left, and it just was never the same after that.
But again,
yes, he's talking about football.
Sylvester Stallone failed, but again, he was trying something new.
Yeah.
Again, he wasn't trying to preserve his status quo. Actually, quite the opposite. After Rocky, or was it Rambo? He shot that farce movie. Was it Oscar, or what was like this farce comedy type of very weird?
Was it one with the mafia or
yes,
like in the 90s because he was competing. No, I remember he was competing with Arnold because Arnold
they were
because
kind of,
he and Arnold had beef. Yeah.
By the way, jump over to the coach's
egos
studio because we have
down to egos.
The egos.
Yes,
right.
the egos.
But they were trying new stuff and they were failing with that, and they had fun in the process. They were realizing, okay, this works, this doesn't work. And they were always trying to build a legacy, building a career through these mistakes and learning what the audience really loves to see.
Even with Sly Stallone as the example, the reality is Hollywood is such a cutthroat, disgusting industry that of course you're going to have this mindset of, I'm going to take mine and keep it moving. These Disney pretending to give a fuck about any of these directors, any of these actors, it's all a farce. They gas up all these people just because they happen to not be a straight white male. And then guess what? When they get all the heat that Disney has created, Disney just leaves them out there to dry.
Right.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
And even with Sly Stallone as the example, look at him. He got forced out of Rocky. It is a disgusting, despicable industry filled with greed and hatred. These people don't give a fuck about anyone else. They don't want to nurture talent. They don't give a shit about that. They just want to use you up and spit you out.
They want to destroy everything.
Yeah, I always feel like, for me, with Hollywood recently anyway, it feels like they've been trying to set
time, Hypno.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'll
go
do super chats.
Up. No,
do super chats and I'll pick up later. Don't worry.
God damn it! All right, we got Magnum North.
Yay!
For
what the fuck?
Magnum North for 10 says Will Smith unverifiably said, according to his ghetto assistant, that he ain't gay. He's only bending over because he's smelling for truffles. That is that's an interesting breakdown of the development of Will Smith.
The thing is, I can't tell if this is a joke or something that was actually said. Because in
can't
modern Hollywood,
you never know.
Brother Bilal, former personal assistant to Will Smith, witnessed Will Smith taking it up the arse by Duante Martin, and he described it as him being murdered. Duante was murdering Will Smith.
I know how he feels because you've been calling me Persian all night. I've been taking it up the ass by that.
I don't believe this is true. The only reason being that if Will Smith did in fact say this, he would be called a homophobe.
True.
He's true.
Black,
he would be.
Fine.
He would, but he's black though. He's safe. That's
why he's a Scientologist.
So in terms of like oppression, right? The ultimate shield right now in modern day period
Jewish.
is what? It's trans, right? Trans is the ultimate shield.
It's being trans.
So if you're trans, you could do no wrong. Then like what's number 2? Is it black or is it
female?
Black and Latino, black, brown,
not to be disrespectful,
Latino.
but it's being Jewish because
Yeah,
even black people get absolutely like decimated if they go after any Jewish people.
Okay, so
That's
Jewish
true.
is number 2. All right,
Tell
good
it
to know.
like it is, Cassie,
who's
and
number
get
3?
shot
Who's
down
number
to
3
oblivion.
on the oppression?
I think
like
little
hierarchy.
people. Little people is number 3.
No, nobody gives a fuck about them.
Yeah, not at all.
Like, nobody even
Your Diggers prove that little people don't even give a fuck about each other. Like
that's what I'm saying. No,
Leon
I think
wants to pump them all to hell. That's what he's thinking.
Black's got to be at least top 3.
I had to volley that one up for you guys.
It's not that black is top 3. It's because black does this weird break off thing, kind of like Back to the Future with the alternate universes. It's black women are pretty high up on the list as opposed to black men. They're pretty low. Like black
lesbian black women are at the very top.
The
lesbian
final
black women are very
form,
top.
like we're talking like black freedom form is probably black. Female, lesbian, trans person. That's got to be like
wow.
In the 1970s, ladies and gentlemen, In the 1970s in the United Kingdom, the ultimate victim was described as a black Welsh female lesbian trade unionist in the UK because they were all the victim groups that the left appealed to in the 70s. So blacks, females, lesbians, Welsh people, and trade unionists. So
that
yeah,
makes sense.
In the 90s, in the 90s, Weird Al Yankovic put out this album called "Running with Scissors." It's my favorite album by him, and in one of the songs, he has a lyric that says, "It's been 3 days since the bitter feud between the KKK and the gay Jewish black dude." And back in the day, that was so absurd because the idea of someone being gay, Jewish, and black was like impossible in 1999. And nowadays, that's just a regular, everyday fucking thing you see on TikTok or something.
We got all of this from one super chat. That's amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
ARG for 10 says Hook is an example of a movie that flopped when it came out, but got major love after coming out for a home release and is considered Robin Williams' best work.
Yeah, Robin is amazing in there.
And I reject
there's a lot of movies that come
you need
out.
to watch What Dreams May Come.
There's movies that come out and flop initially, and then they eventually end up becoming like cult classics later on.
Yes.
You know, The Last Dragon, when that movie came out in the theaters, that did not do good at all. And now it's like one of the most highly sought after fucking DVDs and VHSs that you can try to get. It's actually worth some good money. You can find it. Magnum Norse again for 10, man, killing it tonight. Thank you. Says, hey Cassie, you should stream with Az. It would be a rantathon. Perfection.
I think we'd yell at each other.
I think the internet would
they would yell at each other a lot.
Versus lesbian. When the lesbian takes 38 seconds.
Just because she wears hoodies and caps doesn't mean
we'll
she
never stream with Az. That's for sure.
How dare you? I am
he has a minimum camera quality requirement that Ryan cannot appear to.
Nope.
Goes up to 1080p.
We got Kyoko Bulgarian for 5 says, hey Hypnotic, I'm afraid I have life to deal with, but I wanted to stop by, give the stream a like. Glory to the Hypnotoad Army. Do his fault. Thank you so much, Kyoko. I appreciate that very much, and thank you for hanging out.
I love how you say his name right every time, but then you say Valkyrie and people throw a fit. Like, you can get Kyoko Bulgarian, but you can't get Valkyrie.
No, I could get Valkyrie. I just choose to say Valkyrie. Like, that's just how I am. Like, what the fuck? Leave me alone.
Bro, play too much World of Warcraft, okay? He still thinks of the old name, okay?
I like saying it like Valkyrie. I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna complain about the way I pronounce shit.
Oh man.
Thank you though, Kyoko Fulgarian. I appreciate that very much for the support. It's very nice of you. Good. Not as many as last time, thank God, because we spent half an hour on the last one.
All of them were roasting Ryan and KRG.
All the super chats were literally roasting Ryan. That's great stuff. I identify as trans, non-binary, two-spirit, black, and Jewish. That's two-spirit shit. That's a thing, isn't it? That's a thing.
The ultimate protected class.
Yeah, that's what the 2+ means now in the LGBTQIA 2+. It means that you're basically reincarnated, and you not only are you, but you have the spirit of your previous ancestor or what the fuck ever. It's dumb shit. It's the sort of shit that chicks that believe in crystals believe in.
Basically,
keep up with this.
Basically, what you're saying is you're Naruto. You're Naruto. Basically, what you're saying. I got the nine tail in me.
How can communists believe in reincarnation when they just massacre hundreds of millions of people? No.
Oh Lord!
See, I'm getting corrected already. Deus Vult. No, it's Deus Vult. I don't give a fuck.
I forgot to mention Hypno. The correct pronunciation is Deus Vult, not Vult.
New headline: Spaniard can't speak English properly.
Oh, jodete, pendejo.
Oh my God.
New Spanish version. Second-rate Spaniard on this panel.
Second-rate Spaniard.
Every regard, Dragon.
Wow.
Not
second rate. I swam all the way from the homeland to over here.
I wonder where Ryan rates amongst white people. He's got to be like way down below, right?
Dragon Slayer is second-rate to coach in monologues, second-rate to words in terms of arguments, second-rate in terms of Cassie for passion, second-rate in terms of Jay because Jay is Persian and Persians are superior to Spaniards, and second-rate compared to me because I make way more videos. You're second-rate incarnate.
Isn't it strange how he left Hypno off as if he's not second-rate to Hypno? So yeah, way to say that your boss is
he
Hypno
knows.
is just
Say shit. Go ahead, say it.
Oh, Ryan,
Slayer
at least
commentary.
I own a microphone.
You see how
that
he
is
went right
worth
back to
20
Dragon
bucks.
Slayer commentary?
Dragon
I
Slayer
I was like,
commentary
Two shoes.
is a
Say something
second-rate
about me.
version of every single panelist that's ever been on Saturday Night Hypnosis.
Don't leave me out, Ryan. Come on.
Third-rate dragon with fourth-rate scales.
Am I a fucking amalgamation? Do I just steal
Yes,
people's...
I said that privately to you. You're a second-rate amalgamation of Coach, Hypno, and Film Rebel.
What? I mean,
He does film reviews like Film Rebel.
Ryan, you have a great rack.
Dragon Slayer, I think of you like nostalgia critic, but with a legitimate sense of humor. So
I own more shoes than
stream,
you, bro,
what are we
and
at?
I
We're at
got a
242
microphone that
likes.
works. And
I
with
have
a
twice
proper
the
stand.
support of you, Dragon.
All right, listen. If this stream gets 300 likes, and I'm gonna have Ryan DM everybody a titty picture.
No,
please DM
300 likes, ladies and gentlemen. 300 likes, and you're gonna get a titty picture in your DM, fully uncensored, hair and all. It's gonna be great.
Coach, are you making bird noises over there?
Look, I know words passed me in support earlier this month. I know Cassie passed me in support earlier this year, but I will say I'm twice as popular as Dragon Slayer. I'm still more popular than Coach for some reason. And 18 months ago or longer than that, I was more popular.
Let's put a poll. Hypno, put a poll.
I have
in
not
chat.
lost a sub for like 2 months.
I'm still waiting for Ryan to
like
say something
4.
about. He doesn't want to say anything about me. He doesn't like me.
I know you want to roast.
Don't roast me,
Ryan.
German. I'm British.
He can draw better than you. There we go.
Oh shit! this
Yes!
is second rate to him in there.
Yes.
Mine is better, and it's not on a fucking tablet. It's on a whiteboard.
Because you can't afford a tablet.
You can't afford to.
Fuck you,
Ryan,
Look,
the
look,
hole
look.
that you are experiencing in your shoes, it's for your foot. Right?
He can't afford a fucking mic
He just
stand.
leaves it. It's too easy. It's too easy.
Wait. Ooh, very nice drawing. Oh my God, Jay. Okay,
Damn,
you and Coach are great.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
Nice,
Stole that
man.
from a Japanese
Nice.
person, you
Good
stuff.
Persian.
Wait.
See, no, I know what that's Coach and Dragon in one photo is what that is. We got the swordsman, the Oracle, Coach. I mean, his Dragon Slayer friend behind
And
him.
guess who's excluded?
Yeah, about
Ryan.
to destroy Ryan. Because guess what? At least both of us got microphones that work. We got stands that can hold the fucking microphones. Got more than 3 shoes.
We have
swinging in your face,
and we don't own VHSs and are not
something
stuck in
that I
a
think
time
you're pretty
warp.
used to, honestly.
In 1989.
You're 3 times the person, but I have twice the support, which means per dragon, you're like a 1/6 of me.
What?
Fuck you, Spaniard.
Where did that math come from?
Can you zoom in on Jay?
I'm confused how
Yeah.
Ryan, looking at Ryan's size, he thinks the dragon's 3 times the person. I think he got the numbers backwards.
I think
you,
Ryan's
Worth.
not a good judge
I'll
on
eat
size.
you.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there.
Bro, the TV VCR combo, though, that's true. Like, he's the only person I've seen that has one of those.
All right, enough of a roasting session. Let's go back to roasting the same targets now. I think all the super chats are done. Let's talk about. Go ahead, Slayer. Go ahead.
No, so
Mention what?
going back on the original topic we were talking about with Hollywood and
hurry because we're on the next topic. Let's go.
No, yeah, I'll be quick about it. I just think that
Quick? You?
Fuck you. I'll let y'all talk. Come on, let me talk. I wasn't
go.
Right. So I always find very interesting with Hollywood lately is that, you know, we have this group of people that are constantly complaining, not in our group necessarily, but in other groups that obviously profit off of the complaining, where they're like, man, everything is terrible. There's nothing good anymore. Hollywood is just completely out there. No good media, period. Yet, like Coach said, and Leon has said, and all of you have said, there are good filmmakers and actors out there that are making good stuff, but at the same time, they're getting suppressed. But then the same people that call out the big Hollywood budget films, you know, saying everything is bad, they don't mention the fact, hey, there's these little guys over here we could be promoting and getting them to a different platform to, improve the culture. They don't do that because they know that if they did that, they would lose all of their monetary value. They wouldn't be able to adapt quickly. But at the same time, I think that the big establishment in Hollywood has this obsession with trying to normalize mediocrity, and they're going to keep trying to normalize the mediocrity because they believe that they keep doing that consistently. People, including us, will get tired out and just give in and say, no, I'm just tired of talking, repeating the same thing. I'll just ignore it. And eventually, little by little, creating this culture where people just don't care about that.
Well, then don't know us well, that's for sure, because we are not going to stop.
Worries me. Yeah, of course. Like, obviously, it has failed like massively. But Words, you might be muted because I cannot hear.
No, I can hear you, Words.
Oh, yeah, no. I was talking to somebody else. My bad.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, right, I want the apathy to set in. I said this privately, so I'll say it publicly. I want the apathy to set in. I want the franchises to die. I want these fucking franchises that the establishment supports to bleed out so that we can start again, start afresh. Do what Cassie said earlier. Yeah. Have Twitter drama and just tear chunks out of each other.
You want to be Keemstar 2.0.
Let's be serious for a moment. That shows that you got like no passion for any of these, like nerdy subcultures that a lot of us do. Like
I watched Doctor Who die in front of my eyes, Words. I don't want to live through that again.
I understand.
Right. So rather than apathy setting in, you should want things to flourish and be fostered and improved, because if you let things die, that's the same as the other side winning. You're like, oh, they got to run it into the ground. They won. They took their ideology, they took their mentality, and they sullied what we have loved for years upon years with it. What you should want to see is the things that we've loved that have been sullied come back with a vengeance. Like in real life, see the hero's journey. The hero is at its failure point right now. That's part of the hero's journey. Then it goes back full circle where the hero rises up and it overcomes the cataclysm that he's been experiencing, and that's what we should want these franchises to do. Not suffer through apathy, but to rise back up and come out the victor before they return home.
Oh, that's
Coach was not long. I spoke homeboys.
Yeah, that was really
perfectly fine, Words. But everything has its time to rise. Everything fades away. And these franchises, some of them are getting close to a century old now, especially with DC. And after a century, for a human being, it's usually time to go bye-bye. And the same thing will be of these franchises. The entertainment of the 19th century wasn't the same as the entertainment of the 20th century. And so the entertainment of the 21st century will not be the same as the entertainment of the 20th century. Things ultimately evolve, and I want creators, content creators, to be at the center of that evolution. So if it means establishment entertainment dying and all of our franchises dying because they are human shields, so be it.
I would argue that content creators are the evolution.
But here's the reality of the situation. These long-standing franchises are shitting the bed. And everyone has this hyper concentration on that. But like what is not being given a pedestal is the new creations out there. Like I've openly said that I'm a gaming YouTuber that's willing to shill for small companies, even if the game is halfway decent. You know why? Because people that try these little creations don't really have much to lose in terms of investing their time or their money, and to at least build up these tiny indie studios or these small creators. Like honestly, I call myself a RoboCop shill, but that game does things that AAA games that have been in development for 10 fucking years don't do. Like when you look at RoboCop as a game and see all this destruction, and then you look at Starfield, and I was happy with Starfield, and then I played RoboCop and I tried to go back to Starfield, and it's like, oh my God, like this is rough to go back to after playing RoboCop, where you're just blowing people the fuck away and all this destruction, all this chaos, and watching this small studio just completely just rip and just do their thing. It like, I'm willing to like support small creators. I'm willing to do that, But the problem is there's a lot of people that are in our shoes that are unwilling to do that because, well, negativity gets more views. And it's like, I understand that. But if we don't have a replacement for the failure that is occurring, then we're not going to see, like, I don't know where the good creators are when it comes to film. Nobody's telling me this shit. I'm like, Coach knows some of these people. He's watched some of their films, and he's involved in that little like niche space. I'm not. I don't have the time to go out and find these niche markets. For me, the fact that I branched over to go to K-pop, to get better entertainment, that's a rarity. I just don't have the time, and a lot of people don't really have that time. We don't talk about these things if we don't give a light to these replacements or to try and encourage people to give it a fucking chance, then yeah, there's gonna be nothing but negativity. And
I use the words replacements. I don't think that's healthy. You don't want to replace. There is like there's enough room for both. You can both want Star Wars fixed and for the new indie sci-fi thing to succeed. Like take a look at someone like Christian Whitehead. Christian Whitehead got his start as an indie developer making Sonic fan games, and he got so good that people were preferring the Sonic the Hedgehog fan games he was working on to the slop Sega was putting out. So what happened? Sega hires Christian Whitehead. He and his team put out Sonic Mania, and it's considered the first good Sonic the Hedgehog game in 10 years. There's always going to be indie games. I have a massive collection of indie comics. I bring indie comic creators on my live show. You can want to support people like Jason Sandberg while also see Spider-Man stop getting cucked in his own comics. You don't have to have replacements. There's definitely you can support both.
I agree.
I agree with that, Leon. But
it's always going to be a trade-off.
Things have to happen in intervals. We have to, like, I'm saying we're stuck at this spot where the entertainment that we've known and loved is now shit. I'm saying, okay, the step now is to bring in these newer creators, these smaller creators, and give them a voice. Because once they do have a voice, then you're going to see, your Star Wars. You're going to see all these long-standing franchises. They're going to be challenged with this competition. That's just what it is. I'm just saying we're stuck at this level that we need to push so that maybe these companies can do a turnaround. But
I agree,
that's like another step ahead.
Indie unknown doesn't automatically mean good. Look at the Game Awards. The Game Awards literally has a fucking category called Games for Impact, Games for Change, and they're all indie games, but they're all these still social dumbass SJW libtard fuckery that we're getting from mainstream media. So just because it's indie and just because it's unknown doesn't inherently mean it's going to be good.
This is why, Leon, this is why we have, like, honestly, the only way to really, like, in hopes of things getting together is to, in fact, destroy some of this shit. Like, to me, I don't endorse the Game Awards because it is a conglomerate of the structure saying that this is what you must praise. And I'm telling you, it's bullshit. And that's the problem. It's all these structures that are put in place, and what credibility do they have? They have none. They have none.
No, I'm not saying the Game Awards has credibility. What I'm saying is, regardless of the Game Awards' existence, these games exist. If the Game Awards never existed, there would still be these new age, hippy dippy, liberal SJW indie games that people would be spending $5, $10, $15 on Steam. So just because they're not coming from a big publisher doesn't mean the issues we're having with media still won't be propagated. You've got, like, if you open up the Webtoons app on your phone and you look through all these webtoons, the vast majority of them aren't like Ripaverse or aren't like Jupiter or these really cool comics that we're trying. They're all hippy dippy liberal SJW bullshit. Like the indie creators are just as leftist and insane as Disney or Universal or any of these, as opposed to someone like Tesla J Studios, who's putting out this comic book that's completely, as far as I can tell, as far as we've talked about it, apolitical and just wants to be a good story. So all I'm saying is that indie, mainstream, it doesn't matter. There's a swath of shit to weigh through. So there's nothing wrong with purchasing the good indie stuff and propping up the good indie stuff while also not wanting our heroes and the things that we've loved for, at times, generations to be sullied. When you look at the Super Mario Bros. Movie and you see it make $1.56 billion, and the fact that it's got almost no political connotations to it, that's proof that the things that we love can continue to grow while we also see at the same time the Ripaverse making literally millions upon millions of dollars. And the idea that one needs to replace the other, or that we need to Indie creators have got the best. They're eating the best they've ever eaten. The internet has propagated indie creators going ham with their creations and being able to get them out there to a niche market more than they ever were able to before. Back in the day, what you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Walking Dead. Like it was difficult for indie comics to get out there. We live in a world now where it is so amazingly easy for individuals that want to put in the work. So I don't think that the problem is we're not propping up indies enough. I see indie comics get funded fucking daily on Fund My Comic or whatever because there are people actively looking for that. So I think we're actually underselling that we need to prop up indies. We are, and it's working. Like I don't think that preaching we need to do this.
Here's the
thing. Everyone needs a Rising Stars playlist. Do what I do. Everyone prop up Rising Stars.
But here's also the reality of the situation. Why do these woke ass whatever the fucks even get the time of day? Because more often than not, they tend to just be dog shit. Why did they get the time of day? Because the corporate and government fascistic infrastructure that exists props up this mediocrity. That's why they do exist. And then we have our side where we look at like Rippa Comics, and what are we watching with Rippa Comics if you be keeping up with them? The people that claim to be on our side tearing each other apart. Yep. And this is why we continue to have all these problems going on, bro. It's crazy to me.
I don't get me wrong. I agree with you. I agree with you. All I'm saying is that because you're right.
It was nice to spend Saturday night with you guys. It's beautiful. Just go on, grab a drink.
Hey, you're the one who hogs.
Just go on, having a little talk while I draw my thing.
I like this. I like two people who are usually on the same.
He likes it when the tomboy and the trans dude are fighting.
The large two political conglomerations you're referring to are 100% in charge. They're the ones propagating this. I absolutely agree, which is why if they've already infiltrated the indie stuff as well as the mainstream stuff, then we should be fighting for both, not just for one.
They infiltrated the very system that produces directors in the first place. That's the problem I tried to kind of, mention beforehand. The problem is that we already are, because these movements, Marxist movements, whatever you want to call them, they're coming from the student background. They're coming from the university culture. These think tanks, right, that are, these socialist institutes and philosophical institutes are closely like attached to these schools and to these Ivy League super level universities. That's a problem that they are creating for themselves, this echo chamber with this type of reasoning that makes no sense to us. To them, yeah, of course, this is on vogue now. This is what we should talk about now.
We should do what Milei is doing in Argentina. Just destroy the central bank. Destroy.
He doesn't destroy anything. The moment he tries to destroy the central bank, he destroys his own.
These two, right, to the left and right and me, wanted their libertarian fucking paradise. Hopefully Milei gives it to them and proves he's wrong.
I want him to be. Can he be America's president too? When he just walked in and he went through every government institution, he's just like, afuera. Yo, I was hyping shit, bro. Holy shit, that dude earned my respect, dog.
I was
get
worried.
The fuck out of here, bro. It was amazing.
I was worried because there's one thing he didn't rip off, and that was Argentina's defense spending. As a Brit, we value the Falkland Islands. There's nothing fucking on it, but we value the Falkland Islands.
It's not what's on it, it's what's underneath it. I mean, they're fighting.
Oh, Lord.
And I didn't see fucking, Chainsaw Man Milei rip out the defense budget.
Of course, but he's a shill. He's placed there to kind of create.
He's probably going to take all the money that he saves from ripping out all those budgets,
the moment he's trying
defense, and invades the Falklands again.
No, how did we get to this point again?
I don't
we
know.
went from fucking indie games
to one more topic to cover, Ryan.
Ryan.
I'm not the derailer anymore. He has
no matter what
good game, Cass. Good game.
I'm blaming Ryan. I'm still blaming Ryan.
I baited libertarians. So easy to do.
Well, at least you baited something, you fuck. All right, let's go. So Tomb Raider TV series taps the Marvel writer. Now this is a big one. I kind of wish I had Melanie Mack on for this one. I feel like she would have went a little crazy on it. Tomb Raider using one of the mainstay writers, I believe, for the Marvels, and we all know how the Marvels turned out. The Marvels is obviously a interesting nightmare going on, as we spoke about earlier in the stream. But the fact that they are hiring writers that were on the Marvels, and of course it's a woman, like the writer,
not just the Marvels. No, WandaVision and Darkhold Diaries.
No, yeah.
So.
I was gonna get into it. It's right here. So it says, after working on the Marvels and the upcoming Agatha Darkhold Diaries, Megan McDonnell has found her next project. Megan McDonnell. So this person, very clearly a liberal woman. I don't know if she's white, but I'm assuming she is.
She is.
Or black. Either way works.
Yeah, it's very clear that whatever hope a live action Lara Croft had, you could pretty much throw that out the window. Not that I thought it had any hope anyway, because let's be real, when you have a female protagonist co-opted by today's modern female writers, you can almost guarantee it's going to be some level of garbage. Most likely a Mary Sue of some kind, or just an overall completely unlikable fucking female that feels like she has to fight everybody in the entire planet. But what do you guys make of this? What do you guys think of Lara Croft and this writer?
So I will mention a serious topic really quick regarding this, but before that, Hulu, if they cast Dylan Mulvaney as Lara Croft, I will join you in space to see the trash fire.
Well, it's Waller-Bridge. It's
Waller-Bridge isn't playing. She's not playing Lara Croft.
No.
She's the one running the show. She's the one creating the show. She won't be playing Lara.
Not Phoebe Waller-Bridge, man.
This is failing upward in a nutshell.
Literally, but no, for this, man, for Lara Croft, man, what annoys me is
Lara, not Laura. Lara.
I said Lara. That's Lara. She is British.
Lara. It's Lara Croft. They say
I'm
Lara.
sorry.
All right, let's stop with the pronunciation, police.
I'm sorry. It's Lara Croft, you motherfucking Brits. It's not Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider fans, if you say her name wrong, trust me.
Oh, you think you're not pissed off enough
Lara
as it is?
Croft. That's how British people pronounce it. You fuck.
With all this shit that's going on, this writer's probably gay too. Now that I think about it, it's probably white.
Probably be extra
female,
gay,
and a
Why
gay.
are you gay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Oh, I think I have that clip.
I
You know what's crazy? That clip is copyrighted. When I play it in its full, I get copyrighted.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
Can't play the whole thing, because if I play the whole thing, I get copyrighted.
Uganda forever. We must take their policies and make them our own.
Look,
I feel like this is a death note for this franchise. You know,
I think this is what they want to deliver.
Why did you bring that up? That's such
But you have to understand that Lara Croft as a character is the one of, if not the most iconic female protagonist in all video games, and for them to take this character, for Hollywood to take control of this character and to do what they're obviously going to do with Lara, I'm obviously concerned. So
it's gonna be a shit show, guys. It's gonna be a deep shit show.
It'll probably be, because they're going for the TV series thing, which means that it'll probably be way much cheaper than the god awful movie that nobody remembered, and also like the only thing people remember in terms of like Lara Croft, I pronounced it correctly, Leon. Okay, give me a fucking break. Everyone, like when we're talking about Lara Croft, at least the only movies that we're talking about that people care about are Angelina Jolie's movies, and even then, number 2 I don't think did as well as 1. But even so, people can say, "Oh, I really like those because Angelina Jolie acted like the video game Lara Croft, with the box titties that everybody's obsessed with." All right?
Oh yeah.
So see, that's why people remember those movies, and because at least she did pretty well and acted true to the character. However, if y'all remember, they tried to do a video game reboot. Nobody liked it. They tried to do another one, if I'm correct.
Hello,
Nobody
hold on. I liked the Tomb Raider reboot. The first game.
The first game was fine.
I loved.
Afterwards, no.
The second and third that people hated.
Yeah. I remember that. But even so, and they want to make another one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they want to make another one, and she looks butt ugly as hell. Okay, what do you think is going to happen when this TV show comes out? She'll either be even less appealing, than the video game version that will be coming out eventually, or they might it might turn out to be good. I'm not saying it can go either way, but based off of experience watching other similar god-awful shows, I have a feeling it's leaning more towards the bad. Now, again, if it goes the other way, I'll accept it with grace and say I was wrong. But for now, I'm going to lean more towards it'll be a major dumpster fire, because I tried to put my faith on Rings of Power until the articles came out, and then I lost all faith.
Rings of Power.
I know.
Don't say my trigger word. Don't say the trigger.
Anyone here watch sports casts? You do, don't you?
Sadly.
So the word hat trick, the word hat trick is 3 goals in one game. Is there one for 4 in one game? Like, is there a term for that?
Yeah, it's poker. It's poker.
Poker. Okay, so Phoebe Waller-Bridge is about to go from the Hollywood hat trick to the Hollywood poker, because she single-handedly ruined Star Wars, James Bond, and Indiana Jones one after another, and now she is moving to Tomb Raider. So she's going from the hat trick to the poker of ruining Hollywood adaptations of beloved franchises.
She is a flea bag, so
yeah.
It's kind of sad that Lara Croft has become that like figure where all these people are trying to just put their own spin on it and kind of like ruin it.
Because it's also getting a Netflix animated series that's going to fail as equally hard. Have you seen the leaked images? She looked like a dyke.
No, yeah, she's completely flat chested too, right? I believe.
What? Yes.
No.
Yeah, this is where the Latino soul finally cries.
You're changing this character on a insanely fundamental level. Like the leaked script for the next Tomb Raider game is that she's gonna in fact be a lesbian. It seems as though she's a very emotionally driven character now. Like the thing about why I love the reboot of Tomb Raider is because, well, this is where you have the quote unquote virgin Lara, the one that hasn't been exposed to deep hardship, having to deal with insane hardship. The way her character was set up was to become what Lara Croft was, but Crystal Dynamics, for some reason, didn't follow through. They instead created a character that continued for 2 more games, having no character development whatsoever. And this character is being fundamentally set up to be a failure on a fundamental characteristic level across the games, the animation, as well as now the live action. It's clearly set up for disaster. They are intending in every facet of media to recreate this character in what they deem should be acceptable to the modern audience.
Well, and the idea, because women in film have been being treated like, and TV have been treated like shit lately, because they can only play one thing. The I want to be a manly person but still have emotion style archetype. Like it's frankly, it's annoying when you have Lara Croft, who is a legitimate bad bitch. Like in the OG games, what's her motivation? She's a fucking adrenaline junkie. That's it. She doesn't go to these tombs because of her archaeological curiosity, Indiana Jones style. She does it because she's a rich bitch with daddy's money who can just use it to get her blood pumping, because she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go fight dinosaurs today while I grave rob bitches, because it gets her blood pumping. That is such an awesome thing for a female character to have, because that's an archetype you don't see often. So if you actually give a fuck about women in film, having personalities and being interesting, well-written characters,
right?
Maybe give them a character that we haven't seen a million goddamn times, and give us the adrenaline junkie, take no shit version of Lara Croft that we got in 1996.
When we have Zegler Zombie or Godot Entitlement or the Lawrence Perfectionists speaking it, they are the first females of doing that or this. I mean, it just makes me laugh, because they themselves, they are not aware at all of their own culture that they pretend they want to defend with these movies. So you already have great examples, from Ripley to Sarah Connor to Lara Croft, and there are some others, right? You have these great examples that really just kind of created an IP for themselves and paved their way for other games and for other franchises in a manly dominated world. And instead of being proud of them and kind of expanding the universe and kind of world building and all that, no, they have to get back to these characters and weaponize them even more, uglify them, and kind of portray them in an even flatter, one-dimensional way, which is kind of flabbergasting. So you're set out to defend the rights of the women and to empower them, but the characters you're interpreting, they are flat out stupid and shallow.
I like that you use the word flatter, because when it comes to female characters nowadays, the flat has flat characters means two things.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it's worth noting that if you've watched the 2018 Tomb Raider film, the one thing that immediately stuck out to me as a fan of Tomb Raider, not like a deep fan, but rather casual fan that has a general understanding of Lara Croft as a character, they were afraid to even make her rich in 2018. They had to craft an entire film for her to earn her wealth. That is how pathetic Hollywood is. And that was in 2018. So I can't imagine how fucked this character is going to be on any form of modern day like rendition.
She's literally just fucking female Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Mommy, daddy's money, and she uses that money for extravagant badassery.
Wait.
Extravagant badassery. That sounds cool.
That works for a video game, but doesn't work for a TV series or for a movie.
Yeah,
it works for every Batman movie. Why wouldn't it work for a
well,
movie?
Batman
had
is
depth.
They added more depth to Batman over the years.
Yeah.
And Lara Croft doesn't have depth to her. You can like
not as much as Batman.
No,
that's the point.
Batman started in 1939.
Batman had a rogue gallery of villains.
He had
he had a mission to protect Gotham. He was doing it. He had a motto that he was following. Like there was so much to Batman. There were so many layers. This has nothing. This is good for a video game, but it will come out very flat for a TV series.
But it's already worked as a movie before. It worked as a movie in the Angelina Jolie films. So
well, yeah, but it wasn't.
That was because,
but that's because Angelina Jolie looked like the box character.
Yeah, like
we have to understand what kind of film we would ideally like to see if there was a Tomb Raider film crafted. You don't have to have the idealistic idea of cinema behind it. You just need an hour-and-a-half film that is very entertaining, that does display Lara as the character that she was. You don't have to have an origin story. You don't have to go through all these things that are deemed necessary. This is what the MCU has done to us. We feel as though we need this complete explanation of every singular tiny fucking
the anime treatment. Is that what you're saying?
That.
But that's the anime treatment. That's literally anime in a nutshell, but they try and apply it to Western movies and shows that it just doesn't work with. Like the reason why in some anime the whole idea of giving complex explanation behind certain characters and even the villains is because by the point they start doing that, you're already getting attached to at least some of them and you want to know more about them, and it helps with and it's tailored in a way to understanding the whole story.
Before, you know where we've seen this work before? Indiana fucking Jones. Tomb Raider is Indiana Jones, but even more morally gray. How much money she has just alter a damn thing about her.
But he wasn't rich. He wasn't rich.
How much money?
And
that doesn't matter. Her being rich doesn't. Her being rich just means to buy her own private jet instead of chartering one from someone else. We don't have to explain why she's rich. Cass is 100% correct. We don't need the granular backstory on how her daddy committed tax evasion to be able to afford all these wealth and riches and whatnot. The bitch is rich. It's that simple. She gets on a private jet. She goes to some Saudi Arabian dig site and she kills fucking dinosaurs. Give us the Mario movie. People that grew up in the 90s.
Leon, you got that with Ahsoka. You got that with Ahsoka. You got no background, and you got what we get. We just got a character fighting. You got a character.
We had backstory on Ahsoka. It's in the Clone Wars. The thing is, Ahsoka was poorly written.
Who watched it? No one watched that. You're talking about a series.
Ryan, shut up. Don't add more to this fucking fire.
See if Woods still gets
everybody knew who Ahsoka was. That's why she got her own show, because she was such a beloved character. Now the show was shit. The show was god awful, but everyone knew and loved Ahsoka. That's why she got a show.
Look at Rocky as a film. Just how much established lore is there that we didn't have to have a backstory of? You watch that film and there's so much like stuff that's low-key established and we don't have a flashback to. We don't have none of that. Like there's so much already established there. There's so many 70s films that make you feel like this world is already lived in. Because that's what's interesting to me. You don't have to explain everything outright to me. I don't want that. We don't need that. We've proven that fails more often than not. We can have there's perfectly a capable Tomb Raider film that's less than 2 hours that already has established general lore and can still tell a very cohesive, entertaining story, thriller, whatever. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's an action movie at the end of the day.
Dragon Ball ran for 5 years before we got Goku's backstory. We don't fucking need backstory for something to be successful.
No, but the thing with Rocky is that you're getting the struggles and you're getting character depth with him, and you're finding out why he gets to that level of fighting the champ. Like he was a nobody, and that was portrayed in that movie. With Lara Croft, all you're getting is a millionaire woman that's going out to find something to rock her off. Like it's going to come out flat. It's going to come out flat.
All you're getting is
Leon's dick almost flipped the fucking table.
Just did a big
this fucker.
Leon is backing confirmed.
Why the fuck did Mario make 1.56
Leon, take your shirt off, bro.
Mario is
take it off, bro.
Who wants to stomp on mushrooms and save a princess. We don't need intricacy in fucking video games.
Leon mad. Leon smash.
Leon was Mario. Mario was a little plumber in the beginning.
Oh man, what a
version. Oh god.
No, I'm still working on getting rid of my man titties, so I can't quite take it off yet, but it'll happen. I'm working on it.
What's the background music?
Carnivore.
Who put the fucking background music?
Oh god.
Porno is about to take place.
Please, come on, man. I have to sleep.
Look, Persian man, you're not going to get the last word. Dragon, you're not going to.
I figured I would give you some music, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I recognize words as talent. That's why I don't argue against the man. He's got the sharpest fucking mind on this panel. Cassie's the most passionate. I just recognize that words will get the last word. Persian man cannot defeat him. Spaniard cannot defeat him. The brown man cannot defeat him.
I can.
Monologue fucker
I can and I will.
Him.
There was a time where extravagance, like people were obsessed with rich people. Like, why does fucking what is that 80s TV show that existed? Dynasty. Why the fuck do you think Dynasty exists? Like, there is an opportunity to make that work. It just depends on how you make it work. If you have honestly, what gets me with the character is, do they have slick one-liners? Do they have style? I look at like Neo. I didn't even like the Matrix intro story. I know that's like an unpopular opinion. I don't care about that. I want to see this motherfucker look cool. I love it when he's throwing down. Like, it's how something is shot and how this character is perceived. You can have a character that's rich and elitist, but still capture your heart in some way. It just depends on how it's carried out. Now, will they fuck it up? Likely, yes, because these people, they need you can give them millions upon millions of dollars and still they will shitpost. That's what it is in modern day, but it is more than capable of being carried out in a fulfilling way if you have the right people that know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, but the way Leon puts it is, she wants.
You're not getting the last fucking word. How many times you, Persian man?
I'm talking right now.
Go back to your sheep farm, you fucking Welshman.
Give up, Persian.
Don't you have sheep to fucking graze?
The way Leon put it out is that she's rich and she wants to get her panties wet because she's going to go fight dinosaurs and shoot guns and bows and arrows. And that's not a movie. That's not a movie or TV series.
Then why did Mario make $1.56 billion? Mario was story.
Mario started off as a plain plumber in the beginning. He started off as a plain plumber.
The fish character fucker.
And Laura starts off as an adrenaline junkie thrill seeker. Mario's a plumber. She's a thrill seeker. Like, there's literally, that's the
what
bare
is going
minimum.
On, chat? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I think that I think that what like overcomplicating things is why we're in the we have the problem entertainment that we have now. Honestly, honestly.
Look, let's just admit it, okay? The only reason Lara Croft did so well is because we're talking like a nice pair of ass and titties and a good-looking woman slinging around, killing dinosaurs. It was tailored to a specific targeted group, and it worked. All right, the women joined in later.
Right. Take a look at Kill Bill. Kill Bill is very simple. Kill Bill is woman has a husband who has wronged her and she's trained as an assassin. Here's 2 movies of her murder fucking Asian people to get to that husband and kill him back. It's that simple. If Kill Bill can do it in 2 volumes, one of them admittedly better than the other, then Lara Croft, a Tomb Raider movie or TV show, can do it as well. You don't.
But you got a history there.
I think fundamentally making it a TV series is wrong. I think that they should just do it as a film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. If you're creating an investigative type of series where you have to jump from one adventure to the other and really create it like a game where you kind of, explore something at the end of the episode that kind of leads us to the next one, then probably even a series could work. The problem is we don't trust these people anymore. We know exactly what they're doing to the character. I mean, look at their face. Look how she looks already for the animated series. They're uglifying the woman. And they are weaponizing. Looks like she
bites off dicks,
right?
And dives in on bonus holes. That's literally how she looks. He's got that fucking face. He got that.
Why don't we enjoy my samurai a little bit?
Yes, please. It's colored now.
It's gorgeous.
It's
just right now. Lara Croft, good looking.
Hey, look, can I say something? I will only watch the Lara Croft TV show if Quentin Tarantino is directing it, okay? Because at least I'll see a fountain of blood.
Yeah, then we're going to see a lot of Lara Croft.
I have to be honest with you guys. When it comes to Quentin Tarantino is a big proprietor of the bullshit that we have now. I don't know if people realize that he's just better at it than everyone else. But this motherfucker, all he has done his entire career just about is just reference everything else. And this is why everything is fucked. Because everyone copies Quentin Tarantino and does it even more uninterestingly. It's so fucked.
I reference everything else.
Cassie's catching up on multiple weeks of being away, and she's letting
Wait, before that, we need to mention a statistic here.
I still have to make Desolate Soul Studios a rising star, but I've made everyone on this panel a rising star. That is an example of me referencing everyone else, and I do it in a very talentless way. But somehow I'm here. Lick enough boots, folks, and you'll do well.
God.
Lick
under the tomboy, perfect.
Well.
Under the tomboy, how it should be.
Even better.
Under the Puerto Rican tomboy. But I do want to mention something, Hypno. If you can blow up this comment by Steve, by TCAT's Steve. I asked him this because I was very curious about it. He's made some calculations that he thinks that the average vapes per 1.92 minutes that Leon makes is about 1. Which means that in the 172 minutes done, he should be doing about almost 100 hits. Which means I don't know how his lungs are still functioning. Number 1.
No, TGAP is great. TGAP will come to my streams on Monday, and he will count every hit and divide it by the 3 hours I stream, and he will leave a comment on how many hits I took per minute.
Bro, he used to keep track of all my deaths in video games when I was streaming. It was terrible.
TGAP is a mad lad. Love him.
You know the best thing about my references as rising stars is that the more prominent I get, the more effective the rising star video is, and the more I could potentially grow. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So
don't worry, you'll become Keemstar 2.0. You'll be wearing the caps. You'll get special deals with what the fuck's the name of that?
I can't wait to hear Ryan's first rap song if he turns into Keemstar 2.0.
But first, his hairline's got to go. I'm sorry. That's if you want to
show my face, you dragon fucker.
If I showed my face, we would get too many women on this fucking show. Okay, no. Shut
Somebody
up.
say Ryan's such a chimp. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday Night Hypnosis episode 66 Chimp Edition is officially finished. I hope you guys had a fantastic time watching us tonight. I am going to showcase what's his name, Ryan, and throw in his little intro. Just please don't be a monkey during the intro. I would Ryan, take it away.
Well, I only did that to make up for Atreus not being here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching. Got you, Persian man. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful live stream. If you haven't already, please check out all these fine folks and subscribe to their respective channels, especially Words of Paradise, who is the most talented person on this panel, has the most
potential. Thank you, buddy. I love you.
Mm-hmm. That's because he always gets the last word. If I find a fucking creator who can outdo him, I found 500. I'll find 500 more. But as for me, you can check me out at Ryan Roger Athe. That's the channel that bears my name, because the truth is reality based. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and no other genders, binaries, and all the other fucking degenerates. Bye for now, folks. Have a great night.
Thank God, short and sweet. Speaking of not short and sweet, Dragon Slayer commentaries, take it away.
Oh, screw you. Right. So, guys, as usual, it's been a wonderful stream. Lots of roasting was done on Ryan. Hopefully, we increased his funds so he can eventually buy an actual chair instead of sitting on a cardboard box. And as for me,
you retard.
Why? I'm sorry, bro. You showed me your cardboard hideout in this time warped in 1986. I can't help it, okay? Right? You got fucking VHS
uncomfortable when I say retard, guys. It's a perfectly acceptable word. Retard.
I will die on that.
It's more just I've never heard somebody retarded use the word themselves.
It's called a fucking cunt. That's what the word is. Right. So if you guys want to catch my channel, just make sure to click either the link that TGAB's showing over here on the description of the video. And if you go to my account information, you should be able to see a link tree that will link you to all my other socials. As for upcoming videos, there will be one coming in these coming days, actually, for real. And there will be more to come after that. Don't worry. I will release eventually. No, I will eventually release 100 videos before Joe Biden dies. And afterwards, I'll just simply find another terribly disliked older person that I can use as my next target for giving excuses to releasing late videos. But until then, the old fart is my best bet. Thank you. That's it for me.
Wow. That's definitely not short and sweet. All right. Cult Classic Cage, take it away.
Well, it isn't like Dragon Slayer. It totally doesn't have the CIA on our asses now. But yes, if you'd like to find out what I do, visit Cult Classic Cage on YouTube, Twitter, or Kick, where we talk about tons of gaming. We have the Two Real for Feels podcast making a comeback this Thursday. Obviously, last Thursday I kind of canceled out because, like I said, I wasn't entitled to taking over anyone's Thanksgiving. So if you're interested in hearing what me and my buddies have to talk about when it comes to gaming, definitely check me out over there. I uploaded a video discussing a lesser known game called Agent that never came to fruition that Rockstar had announced back forever ago. So there's some new details on what happened with that, which is always interesting to discuss. And I was streaming playing Resident Evil Remake, which is the first time I've ever played anything Resident Evil 4, so that's definitely been interesting thus far. I intend to try and play and beat both the original and the remake and see how I feel about it overall. So thanks for
100%.
having me.
It was fun watching. It was a good time. Resident Evil 4 is a pretty damn good game. All right, speaking of Resident Evil, Leon, Resident Evil fan himself or herself.
Yeah, the Resident Rexpert. Yeah. No, I first of all, I'm so upset that I missed it because I'm absolutely watching the next one. And I, unlike the trolls in your chat, will not lead you astray. But yes, everyone, seriously, do go subscribe to Cass. Her agent video was awesome. She does great work. Everyone on this channel does great work. Even Ryan, we give him the business, but this show would not be the same without him. He's a great punching bag, mainly because he's so fluffy. He's able to take it really well. So we appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan, for being here and being able to take what we give you when Atreus is not around. But everyone on this panel, they should have earned your subscription. We appreciate it. And obviously, we love being here on Saturday nights, having differences of opinions. We agree on certain things, disagree on others, because at the end of the day, our goals are all the same, and that is to fix pop culture, fix, our culture in general, not necessarily pop culture, regardless of where we stand on political manners, liberal, libertarian, conservative, doesn't matter. We all want the same thing, and we just need to figure out how to come to that commonality and that end goal. If you want to check me out, I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It's my first year on YouTube. My anniversary is next month, and I'm less than 150 away from the 2K mark, so you can feel free to contribute to that. I would much appreciate it. I do nerdy news videos almost every day, usually covering a variety of topics, and then I've got my show, The Countercast, on Mondays at 3 o'clock Central Time, where I bring in a rotating panel of guests to top pop culture and cover things I normally cover, but with a more free flow, nerdy Joe Rogan-esque style. So check that out, and obviously, again, everyone else on the panel, because we do this for you and we love doing it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I'll add another page to your file words.
Real quick, Warsmith Korath, man, member for 14 months. That is insane, dude. Yeah. Thank you so much. Says, sorry, Ryan, some stories live forever. Beowulf is still a great story. The Iliad is still great. The Three Musketeers is great.
Damn.
The Library of Alexandria.
I didn't mispronounce any of that shit, you motherfuckers. So let me say Valkyrie. Okay.
We're proud of you, bud.
All right.
We're very proud of you, Hypno. You pronounce your words correctly. Good job, Hypno.
When I want to
put in my link. He put casting Leona as Lara Croft. I'll fucking do it.
I'll do it. If there's any male
better than fucking anything
that can play, Lara Croft, is definitely you.
Better than a lesbian.
The Library of Alexandria burned. Everything lives. And everything dies.
Everything. I really feel like you have a couple bodies.
What was that? What was that? Like, Coach, hold on.
Take it away, please. For the love of God, before this guy goes off.
Everything dies.
Well, I mean, it says in the Bible, you shouldn't fear any fire more than the fire of the righteous man, because the fire of the righteous man burns brighter than any fire in hell and will, of course, annihilate everything that stands in between him and the truth. And we are always here with our fire bundle, trying to burn the lies, trying to burn down all this toxic and really kind of, sticky and dark entertainment that is being thrown at us for the last 20 years, and trying to kind of fight through this dark jungle to really get to the treasure, to the Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is the type of communication that, we take care of, that we appreciate. It's fighting, it's disputing, it's really kind of throwing arguments at each other and really come on top or not. It's not the matter. It's about kind of, putting something into the discussion pot that is really, worth it. Our ingredients, they come from a good place. Our ingredients come from the good fight. And therefore, yes, sometimes we're twisted souls with twisted tongues, but in the end, we mean it right. And therefore, we will never give up this fight. We will always stand strong. We will always communicate and, be together in this magical gathering of madness and creative juice. And if you want to explore that a little bit more, if entertainment is in your veins, if you think that you should be on stage and really tell your story in front of an audience and really connect to the culture and to the audience and really knowing what you're doing instead of serving the agenda, showing what you're capable of, then come over to the Coach MC studio and connect to these incredible stories that I'm sharing there, where it's about acting tips, mindset tips, career strategy tips, how to navigate this wacky and beautiful business, because it's not all bad. I've seen it and I'm seeing it constantly when I drive out to those festivals, when I speak to these creators, to these filmmakers, and to these new actors. They're all hungry. They can't wait to kind of, throw down this old regime and bring forth a new republic that is full of great and honest tongues that really are confident with the product that they're serving, with the culture they're connecting, and the stories that they're telling for now and forever. The Hero Quest will go on every Saturday as well. Come over to my channel, subscribe to these beautiful panel members. Thank you so much to the to the Persian man. See you soon again.
Well, I feel like I gotta go to confession now.
Well, let me shout out Super Sticker real quick. My Nerdy Home for $2.99 with a super sticker. Thank you so much, My Nerdy Home. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Persian, take it away, sir.
Well, okay.
That's just what you are now. This is how it is on the street.
Persian
it's
man.
The Gooch. It's Persian man.
Persian man.
I mean, we haven't explored the Gooch yet. I'm hoping that we never.
Legendary. The Gooch is legendary.
I'm really hoping we never get to explore your Gooch. But if we do, if we have to, Ryan will gladly oblige because he has the most experience. So take it away, sir.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I had a great time tonight, and these people have been gracious enough to invite me back on, and I really enjoyed myself. Fantastic people. Please visit their streams and their channels. Visit Desolate Soul Studios. I do interviews and I do reviews. Next week on Tuesday, I'll be interviewing the editor-in-chief of Spawn Comics, Thomas Healy. Wednesday, I'll be interviewing Mandy Summers, the founder and creator of Stuntman Comics, and of course, Gem Shock and other books as a writer. And Thursday, Amateur Analyst and I will be reviewing episode 2 of Blue Eye Samurai. So come check us out there. And yeah, just if you want to see some good interviews, like Leon said, I've been labeled the Joe Rogan of CG for whatever reason. But I have lots of interviews there with a lot of content creators, comic book creators, and it's been a blast. And I've been up for I just had my 1-year anniversary, the 100th episode, and I could use the subscribers, and I'd greatly appreciate you guys coming on board because I have a lot coming forward. I'm supposed to have Corey Feldman on in December, but I don't know if that's happening, but we'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but thank you again to everyone, and to everyone in the chat. You guys rock. I love the chat. So
absolutely.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys.
Persian man.
Why can't I still see you in the fucking dark? You bright.
Nah,
how are you this bright?
Light bulb.
How are you that white?
Light bulb.
It doesn't make any sense.
You put the lotion in the
You
bucket
bend
vibes right
light.
now.
You're like who is it? Fucking Monica Rambeau, where she bends light. You're like her.
You know that devil imagery in The Exorcist, that face, that white face that flashes the screen for a second. That's like him, but permanently.
Nun is beautiful.
That's the nun from The Conjuring.
No, she's talking about the flashes of Pazuzu in The Exorcist.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Tonight was awesome. Oh my god,
get me out of here.
That is creepy. What is that? What are you? What are you even? What creature are you? I don't know.
How white are you?
He was born out of a snake's egg in Stonehenge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Saturday Night Hypnosis episode number 66 is in the books. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us tonight. It was so much fun. The chat was insane tonight. We had a lot of viewers tonight. It was awesome. Sad that Mike couldn't stay with us too long, but he will be back. We will get him back on where he can stay the whole 3 hours and hang out with us. I know
we'll
he felt
send
bad
Ryan
about
to
leaving.
catch him.
So we'll definitely make sure we bring him back. Shout out to everybody in the chat again. Thank you so much for all the support. Insane 36 super chats tonight. Absolutely fucking nuts. Wow. And shout out to the Hypnotoad mods as well. All the mods in the chat. Thank you for everything that you do every single night. I really, really appreciate it. You make the stream a lot easier to manage. So thank you again. But with that being said, guys, of course, episode 66 in the books. We're gonna have episode 67 next week. And as the holidays come, we will make sure to still provide content for you guys to watch on Saturday and enjoy yourselves. So thank you so much for everything tonight, guys. And of course, always go be bigots. Never forget. Have a great night. Goodbye. Hey.
I have relationships with women, sex with men, and I got news for you.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
A dog or a cat with vagina. Vagina.